want everybody from this moment on to recognize me as the scholar of boxing.
See, their morals, their code. It's a bad joke. Move dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
49 hours declaring it a riot.
Cruiser 5 to 50 be advised, County Police 1 advised they're trying to breach and get to the Capitol.
Publicists, when you talk to your publicists, you know the first thing they tell you? What? Stay away from religion, stay away from politics. Okay. You know why? Why? No matter what the you say, somebody passionately disagrees with you.
Absolutely.
No matter what religion, you believe in Allah, then you're saying that's not the right way. You believe in every Christianity, that's not it, because they choosing something different. Your political party, the Democrat, Republican, the disagreement completely.
Yep.
So I stay away from it. When I get pulled into politics, I go,
Yeah.
and I have nothing to say. I'm just
That's the same way we are. We don't no politics, none of
I'll
this.
with that. I don't stay there because I'm still entertainment. If it's not music, then it's film and television, but it's still entertainment. So why would you turn someone off by saying that?
Right.
I want everybody to enjoy what I'm doing.
Right.
Not just a selective few amount of people. I focus on diversity because it's needed.
Right.
The boxing scholar is a lover, not a fighter, but he's also a fighter, so don't get any ideas. If he pats you on the back, you'll put it in your resume. His enemy. Have him listed as an emergency contact. The scholar has an inside joke with complete strangers. If he punched you in the face, you'd have to fight the urge not to thank him. Sharks have a week dedicated to him. He's the only man alive to is parallel park. A train is count to infinity twice. In Genesis, when God said, "Let there be light," the scholars said, "Say pretty please." He is the genius of all genius and master of all masters.
And that's the trick to life. You have to be wise enough to know when you were living in your dream. And you have to be humble enough to accept when you were in someone else's.
Yo, the boxing scholar's on. What's good? What's good, everybody? First things first. I don't want to give my official opinion until All Positive gets up here because All Positive is really, steeped in the history of the sport. Same day weigh-ins. He's an old school boxing mind. So I want to save my opinion because we talked a little bit off of air, and I might be compromised because everybody knows. I mean, I'll make it a secret. I like Keyshawn. You know what I mean? I thought he had pulled out maybe 3 or 4 fights. I was like, man, Keyshawn okay? You know what I mean? Is Keyshawn sick? Maybe Keyshawn couldn't make the weight. Maybe that's why he pulled out all those fights. You remember there was a time where Keyshawn was consistently pulling out of fights. And I remember thinking, bro, is Keyshawn sick? What is going on? It's this ain't normal, man. Just constantly pulling out of fights, and then he said that he was sick. And I'm like, damn, bro, pulling out of 3 or 4 fights, something must be up with Keyshawn. This ain't normal. This ain't normal behavior. I remember thinking that. Now the entire time it might have just been a fat camp. To be all the way honest with you, I never understood why fighters would fight at a weight that they can't make. That makes no sense to me, right? You remember when Shakur lost the belt on scale and then start complaining about his health and how he couldn't stay at the weight anymore. It's like, wait a minute, but nobody forced you to fight at that weight. Fighters are so desperate to have an advantage, over other fighters that they'll fight at a weight that they're not comfortable at, drain all the way down and do all this old crazy stuff. And me, in my personal opinion, just fight at just move up to 40. It's not that much. It's not that much difference. You know what I mean? If you're an elite guy, it really shouldn't matter anyway, right? Like when T.O. fought Josh Taylor, like all the size and stuff, all that stuff really didn't matter, man. So I just think it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me, in my personal opinion, that they make such a big deal and try to get so much of an edge that they drain and kill themselves to make the weight and go all the way down. But in my personal opinion, Keyshawn killed the weekend. He did. He killed the weekend. A lot of people was looking forward to this fight. Listen, when this fight was announced, I was looking forward to it. Now that the date actually got here, I was like, oh man, we about to have this fight. And then, Keyshawn killed it, bro. He killed the weekend. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm a little bit compromised on this only because of this, right? Only because of this. Keyshawn, I felt like would have stopped De Los Santos, in my personal opinion. I think he would have stopped him. And I think it would have added to his lure. And then, the next fight for him would have definitely been Frank Martin, because Frank Martin been barking up this Keyshawn tree for a while, and that would have been two good names to rack up, because Frank Martin don't have a lot of fights. Keyshawn don't have a lot of fights. You know what I mean? And I think Keyshawn is what they say, he one of them. I really believe he one of them. His confidence is a little bit shaky at times. I ain't gonna lie to you, but you just naturally get confident with age. So I feel like he'll grow into the person that he's supposed to be. But yeah, I think Keyshawn is a little bit slept on in the sport of boxing. I didn't like all this so soft stuff towards Shakur, but Shakur basically pulled a rug up under their relationship. So now that's a potential fight. I mean, listen, man. Like I said, I might be compromised, so take that with a grain of salt. I always announce my biasness, but the biggest thing that I took away from this was the fans getting their money back. Like that you can't do that. Like these tickets were already overpriced. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm not in the business of boxing that much to know who sets the price tag for these tickets. But it's like, come on, Keyshawn. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, or whoever's in charge. Like, come on, man. But they do that. The Top Rank is known for that. Putting a fighter in their hometown, doing the Top Rank's greatest hits, Abdullah Mason, Torres, and then throwing up the All-Star team, the Avengers Top Rank on the card, and all of them get knockouts in their hometown, and then they overprice the tickets because they know people going to show up to see the hometown hero, which is Keyshawn. Keyshawn they even had a card where they put all the brothers on the card. You know what I mean? And then put it in the hometown. So Top Rank is known for doing this type of stuff, man, and overpricing the tickets. But I mean, in my personal opinion, Keyshawn wrong, and he did the fans a disservice. But there's a big but. I blame De Los Santos team. I blame and I'll tell you why. I blame De Los Santos team. Like I said, it's not popular opinion. It's not popular. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I blame De Los Santos team. Let me tell you why. Here we go, right here. So this is Sam. Listen, Sam Likowitz. Let's not forget, Sam Likowitz was supposed to give us the rematch between Fundora and Tim Tszyu. You remember Tim Tszyu's team was threatening to sue, and he was like, I'm a man of my word. You don't have to sue. You don't have to worry about suing because I honor my word, and my word is my bond, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward, we never got that rematch. I don't know whose side it was on, but Tim Tszyu's team definitely wanted the rematch to get their belts back, but somehow the negotiations, his word being gold, the gold standard, we never got the rematch, and Tim Tszyu never got his belts back. That's neither here nor there. But that's I'm just giving you an idea of the last interaction I remember with Sam Likowitz. That's the last interaction I remember him having. So he did an interview and he said a couple things. So let's dive into what he actually said. Here we go.
Samson Likowitz, how's it going, sir?
Not so good this afternoon.
Keyshawn Davis is facing your fighter, Edwin De Los Santos. He missed weight by
4.9.
Wow, almost 5 pounds. What's your thoughts?
First of all, it's irresponsible. It's not a professional. He's screaming like one, but he's not. He's supposed to give up the title before this situation. And maybe his management, his trainer, is everybody to blame. In this case, in his own hometown. And I don't know if he will. Now we need to negotiate.
So yes, that is true. You're supposed to give up the title, and the only person that's able to fight for the title is the person that actually makes weight. But Sam and the De Los Santos team agreed to negotiate after Keyshawn missed weight. They agreed to negotiate, afterwards. And that's when negotiations fell out. And then that's when they started talking about, the health and safety, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. But Ryan Garcia was juiced to the gills. That had nothing to do with the price of tea in China. But anyway, here we go.
If the negotiation doesn't go through, who knows what can happen? In the next 2 hours, we find out.
So you didn't know about this ahead of time?
No.
Wow.
That was a dumb question. How would he know that the other fighter's going to miss weight ahead of time? They just be asking anything.
So what would you be, I know you don't want to give me too many details, but what would you be looking for in order for this fight to happen?
No, this I need to negotiate. It's nothing, And if it's favorable for my fighter, not only that in the case he win, he be a champion. If in case he lose, to have another opportunity in the close future.
Okay. Any update on David Benavidez's?
Well, I had to put quick caption on this dude. Completely understand him, man. Did y'all understand that? Let me rewind it.
If it's favorable for my fighter, not only that in the case he win, he be a champion. If in case he lose, to have another opportunity in the close future.
Okay. So he basically saying that, he's willing to negotiate if they get a bunch of stuff in their favor after him missing the weight. That's what I got from it. Listen, y'all can help me out in the chat. Because like I said, this dude need a I had to put the caption on to read his statements. It's crazy work.
Okay. Any update on David Benavidez's next fight, next opponent?
It'll be in October.
Now, it's been looking like it's been difficult to get a quality name in the ring. We've been hearing Colin Smith, Anthony Yard. Which opponent makes the most sense?
Whoever is willing to put these balls in the ring.
He's had great performance after great performance after great performance. What's the logical next step for him to become that marquee pay-per-view star?
He needs to be in the top 5 worldwide. So you look.
So the rest of the interview, I don't think they mentioned it again. So basically, that's right after he missed the weight, which I didn't think was any big deal. I'm just being honest with y'all. I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal because, you have the option just like with Devin Haney and Ryan. Ryan beat Devin Haney in the fight and didn't get the belt. And he couldn't get the belt because Devin Haney was only allowed to fight for the belts because he showed up to the weight that they agreed upon. So Ryan Garcia, even though he won, could never be champion. And in this case, he's basically saying that Keyshawn's supposed to, give up the belts and not be able to fight for the belts, which he already said he was moving up anyway. So should be no biggie, right? But let's be honest, right? De Los Santos was gonna lose this fight. He was showing up to be the sacrificial lamb. He's the B side. He's coming off a 2-year layoff. Listen, and when I was talking to one of my homies offline, all positive, and Kojo, I basically told him, bro, I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. De Los Santos was juicing, bro. It was juicing. Them 2 years that he took off, bro. What y'all think he was doing in them 2 years, man? 2 years, and then he come back and make the weight with ease. Getting older in the sport, like, man, come on, bro. That dude was juiced to the gills, man. That dude was juicing in them 2 years off. You know what I mean? And that's why he was making all these threats. You know what I mean? 2 years off. Listen, an elite fighter, right? And a really elite fighter, like Canelo can't lead the sport 2 years right now and come back and be champion at 68. He would have to take a couple tune-up fights. Muhammad Ali lost his boxing license. You know what I mean? And had a 3-year layoff. Came back and wasn't the same. Mike Tyson, 2-year prison sentence, came back, wasn't the same. Edwin De Los Santos, come back making threats and make weight. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Listen, he ain't with Snack, so you know it ain't spelled out for y'all because y'all think everybody that worked with Snack is on steroids. But come on, bro. Edwin De Los Santos was juiced to the gills, bro. He was juiced to the gills. And like I said, the only people I feel bad for is Keyshawn fans in his hometown. But the rest of it, bro, it's just like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I would have rather watched him fight Frank Martin than De Los Santos. I'm just being honest, because there's a story there. There's actual beef there. I don't feel like De Los Santos is a good fighter. I'm just being honest. This is my personal opinion of De Los Santos. I've never watched a De Los Santos fight and been wild. Even when he dropped Ryu, you know what I mean? I've never been wild by De Los Santos. And then I remember all the stuff that he talked for the Shakur fight, only to get in there and not do anything, bro. This is what I remember about De Los Santos. Then he takes a 2-year layoff and then comes back and fights Keyshawn. Keyshawn was going to come in overweight and knock out De Los Santos. That's what was going to happen. There was no upset. Listen, normally when a fighter misses weight, you know what I mean? A lot of people think it's due to his conditioning and stuff like that. I think Keyshawn just, like, he outgrew the division, just like Bud said, you know? I think he's too big. I think those fighters like him and Shakur, they try to get so much of an advantage, you know what I mean, weight-wise or skill-wise or whatever, that they try to stay at a lower weight or fight at a lower weight, and I think it becomes a disadvantage because they end up going out of the weight. It's like, bro, just move up to 40, bro. You know what I mean? Like stop all this strategic, you know, mathematical scale picking fights. Like, bro, just fight the fighters, bro. That's crazy, bro. Listen, say what you want about Bud. More than likely, he probably is gonna get stretched, but at least he's moving up weight classes, bro, to go fight Canelo. You know what I mean? He said Keyshawn Dutch, Moratala, and Charlo Duck Resendez, and also Boost Duck Virgil. Man, you guys looking bad out here. Facts. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Said I knew Keyshawn was gonna pull out. Well, I got news for you. It wasn't Keyshawn that pulled out, bro. It was Sam and his people. Yeah, those people are the people that pulled out of the fight. They accepted that they were supposed to negotiate after he missed the weight in the same way that Ryan and Dev did, and they didn't negotiate, bro. Edwin De Los Santos, from what I heard, is still getting paid. So there you go. I heard he's still getting paid. But hold on, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Bam. Oh my God. Said according to Rings Keith Idick, I don't know his name, Idick, and Mike Coppinger, the two sides initially agreed to move forward in the fight under the second day weigh-in limit at 149.5 pounds for Keyshawn, right? Which is crazy, bro. 149 is crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Said Edwin De Los Santos and his team then changed their mind. Changed course and decided not to go through with it. Not to go through with the fight due to safety concerns. The sides were also negotiating a financial penalty for Davis to forfeit his 6-figure sum to De Los Santos. Bro, that's crazy. A financial penalty for Davis to forfeit a six-figure sum to De Los Santos. De Los Santos wanted 6 figures, bro. That's crazy, bro. Like, he basically sold out, man. He know what he was supposed to be, a sacrificial lamb. He basically said, hey, man, we want 6 figures, you know what I mean, for you showing up out of overweight, which didn't even make any sense on Keyshawn's behalf, because Keyshawn was going to knock him out, not get credit for, everybody still was going to criticize him, and then he don't get to fight for a belt. So it would have been for nothing. He said, cool channel. You keep it real. Keyshawn was scared of the boogeyman, Edwin De Los Santos. Okay. He said, Edwin too close to Andy Cruz. He said, what you think? I guess it's supposed to be think. He talk like Jamaican. What you think? What you think? So what you think about Crawford and Canelo fight? Well, I thought the fight got closer. Like Lomachenko say, in my mind, the fight got closer. And I thought the fight might have got a little bit closer looking at Canelo's last performance, but I'm not gonna lie. When I got a breakdown coming up on members only, Canelo versus Bud, right? I got that and the Roy Jones that I'm working on, right? The only thing that's stopping me is the memory in my phone. The memory in my phone is running. I got too many pictures, you know, and then I got the stuff backed up. I paid for extra from Google, and I still got too much. So that's the only thing that's been slowing me down. But I got a breakdown coming, bro. And listen, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Bud's gonna get dominated, bro. I had to go to the film. Film always gonna tell you the truth, bro. If you know what you're looking for, it's like a puzzle. You know what I mean? I'm like, House. You ever watch that show, House? How you be thinking about stuff and then something just jump out. It jumped out to me that Bud's he's gonna lose the fight. So I was hyped for this fight. He said, right, the businessman is unprofessional. I don't even know about so much unprofessional, bro. You gotta look at it like Keyshawn been on Top Rank for a long time. Keyshawn has been a star at Top Rank for a long time. Keyshawn's brothers fight on Top Rank. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know about unprofessional. I think he knew what he had in front of him. He knew he had a sacrificial lamb. He thought that he could show up any weight and they would accept it, which they were going to, because they still get the fight for a title. So if you go in there and get the upset, then hey, you still get the title, you know. But whenever they was like, hey man, give us 6 figures, I think he was like, man, you better get on, bro. You better get on with that, you know. But they wanted more money. They wanted more money, you know what I mean? And then, you know, Sam was saying that, you know, that he didn't even try to make the weight. And it's like, bro, you see how much he weighed? 149? Like, what was he supposed to do, bro? Like, hook a machine up that dehydrates him, go inside of a machine and turn into beef jerky? Like, what was he supposed to do? Yeah, man. That was Sam trying to get more money out of Keyshawn for showing up late, overweight. Because didn't Ryan Garcia pay like some million? What did he pay, like 3 million? He paid some crazy amount to make him overlook it. I think that's what they were trying to do with De Los Santos. But it's like, bro, right? Like, this fight was an exciting fan fight. But let's be honest, bro. This fight wasn't for the sellout. No, it might have sold out the arena in his hometown, but this fight wasn't for to be no huge pay-per-view. This is just for the boxing fans to be like, oh yeah, which is so crazy because boxing fans will say that, you know, Keyshawn was fighting him off a 2-year layoff and this was a cherry pick. But at the same time, they'll also tell you that this is a huge fight. This is a huge fight, and it was an important fight, and Keyshawn blew it. It's like, which is it? Those things are mutually exclusive. He said, I think Crawford it's going to take the fight with Canelo. You mean take it to him? Or you mean you think he's going to win? That's a pretty bold statement. Tell me why you think he's going to win. He said De Los Santos is the real businessman. I don't even think it's De Los Santos. I think it's that dude Sam that's in his corner, bro. He been around the sport for a long time. He said, has Crawford or Floyd ever missed weight? Bro, Bud works out 7 days a week, bro. I highly doubt it, bro. And you know, Floyd, after he spars Paul Spatatua, whatever his name. I'm horrible with names. But after he sparred him, he never showed up out of shape again. Said De Los Santos is the real businessman in this case. Oh, appreciate. Let me give you the drop. Let me give you the drop. Appreciate the money drop. Let me give you the drop. Do I still got it up here? Yeah, might not have it. See, I'm running out of memory on my phone. I don't even think I have it anymore. Man, that's crazy work, bro. Well, let me give you a funny drop then. Let me give you a funny drop since I ain't got the money drop. Let me give you a funny one. This is me when Tank fans pull up and try to ask me questions or force me to talk about Tank.
Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before, you know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only thing's ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance. It when we were here the last time shooting the commercial, you were like in between shots, running off, conceiving the dance, choreographing the dance. You were up all night dancing.
And she did it.
Appreciate the money drop. Said who dropped more stock? It said Canelo seeing after setting record laws against Skull, or Crawford win Ortiz stop Masvidal. Who lost more stock in their last fights? I'd have to say it was Bud. Definitely Bud. Only because, there was a big spectacle. I remember Turkey Al-Rashid had Eminem there. They were doing, a show, a concert, and then everybody expected Bud to dominate. Even people that didn't know boxing was like, Bud is fit to knock out this guy. We don't know this guy. He's going to knock him out the same way he did Spence. And then when Bud didn't do it, and he actually struggled in that fight and barely pulled it out, his stock dropped a little bit, only because that's the thing about boxing. You're literally one fight, one punch away from being the greatest of all time or overrated or hyped. Like, they do that all the time with trainers, right? When trainers got a stable or three good fighters, and they say they're the greatest trainer of all time, trainer of the year, whether it be Eddie Reynoso, Derrick James, or any of those guys, then when you lose a fight, they say you're overrated. You were never in that class of gear. It's just weird like that. But I personally, me, I think that on the bright side of this, we might possibly get a fight between Frank Martin now. So let me ask y'all this: if the fight between De Los Santos, because look, I ain't gonna lie, Keyshawn did kill the weekend. Like, I definitely will attest to that. He definitely killed the weekend. But if he announces that, since we're not getting that fight with De Los Santos, that he's fighting, he'll fight Frank Martin, because Frank Martin said he was going to move up too. He said he can't make 35 anymore either. Would y'all be excited about that fight? Because there's rivalry there, there's history there. Or would y'all say, Frank has a long layoff too, and that he had been knocked out by Tank and he's damaged good? Would y'all want to see that fight? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not sold on Edwin De Los Santos. I think Frank Martin's a better fighter than Edwin De Los Santos, and I think if they ever fought, I think Edwin De Los Santos will lose to Frank Martin, in my personal opinion. Even coming off a layoff, that would be a good fight too, Edwin De Los Santos versus Frank Martin. But that's just my personal opinion. So if you want to see if you want to see the free fights, I can give you a good page, and you can stream it to your TV. Send the name through email. Looks really good. Okay. Said, who you most looking forward to seeing this weekend, since the main event is a bust? I'm not gonna lie to you. Abdullah Mason, we already know what he finna do. That was the fight, bro. That was the fight that everybody was excited about, even though people complained about it. That was the main fight, because even though Keyshawn was a heavy favorite, we don't know. And I gotta be honest. About this. Keyshawn is unprofessional. I gotta keep it real. Keyshawn is unprofessional. Like I said, you remember when Keyshawn fought and he had the weed in the system? You remember he had the weed in the system, and then because he had the weed in the system, you know what I mean? They took his whole fight away off of box rec and all that stuff because he broke the rules, and he was mad about that. He was like, "Man, I was smoking weed," but it's like, Keyshawn, that's against the rules, bro. Like I said, bro, looking at this situation, Keyshawn smoking weed, missing weight this time. You look at the other fights that was canceled, you know what I mean? It just leads me to believe that Keyshawn ain't focused like he should be. That's just my personal opinion. Because, like I said, I remember. See, look, this is when I became a Keyshawn fan. I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. I used to be in the betting, right? And I remember one time Keyshawn was for the fight, and I remember I knew of him, but I didn't really know. I seen an interview maybe on Fight Hype or something, and Keyshawn was talking like a fighter. He was like, "Look, bro, I know you ain't supposed to go out there and say you finna get the knockout, but I'm finna go knock this dude block off." He said that, bro. I'm like, "Hey, I'm finna put some money on this dude, bro." I made a prop bet, and I won a lot of money off Keyshawn, and from there, I was a Keyshawn fan. He talked like a fighter, and he behaved like a fighter. He didn't talk like he was finna go knock the guy out and then get in the ring and then not deliver and then say the guy was running, which is what a lot of people do. He went in there and behaved like a fighter, so I was a Keyshawn fan. So then Keyshawn had other fights scheduled, and then they would take him off the card. I'm like, what's going on? A couple fights, because I had bet on them, and they would refund me my money. I'm like, what's going on, you know? And he pulled out like, maybe, I want to say, I know for sure it was 2 fights, but I want to say it was 3, you know, and I was like, what's going on? And then I would watch interviews, and he was saying, you know, I got a little health issues. I'm like, bro, to pull out of that many fights, bro, you might not need to be boxing if it's that serious. You know what I mean? Like, what you got? Gout? You know what I mean? So that, like, if I take what I know now about the marijuana, about him showing up overweight on this, I just think Keyshawn is not focused on boxing. I think he's a guy who's really good at boxing, but I think behind the scenes he might lack discipline. That's my personal opinion. Looking at this situation and just judging of me following him, you know what I mean, and remembering stuff throughout the entirety of his career, he might be a little bit unfocused. That's just the guy's honest truth. But like I said, on the bright side of this, because there is a bright side, you know what I mean, if you look for it, you know, because you got to look hard for it. Because that was the main event. You know what I mean? You got to really, the glass ain't half empty. It's like 3/4 empty. So we got to find the little bit of sliver of positivity here. Positivity here is that we might get the potential fight with him and Frank.
How's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stage Front VIP, being joined with the undefeated lightweight, rising in the division and now number one of the top guys, Frank Martin. Hey, how's it going, man? Not yesterday, but earlier, got a little tension, man. What was your kind of bird's eye view observation of everything that went down?
It's just that energy, you know. What's up with you? You done all right? You done all right?
Up next.
Oh yeah. It was just that energy, you know, that atmosphere, you know. It's one of those fights. It's one of those big fights that, like, the energy, you know, families, you know, they getting angry and all of that. So it's just one of those things, man. They ready to fight. They ready to go.
You know, in Errol, and how close you are to him, does any of that like affect him mentally, make him more amped up or more angry towards Crawford?
If anything, I feel like it'll make him more amped up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that translates the night of the fight?
This is gonna bring out the dog. You know, this is gonna bring out the dog.
How was the last week camp with him?
Good. You know, we was working, we was hitting the mountains. We was in the mountains.
Well, I ain't got to tell y'all what the result was from hitting the mountains with Frank Martin, right? You were hitting the mountains, and then Errol Spence fell from the mountain, and you came tumbling shortly after, like Jack and Jill. So, yeah, he said. So he really believed that. Bro, what is going on? Okay, he really believed that Bud is going to win the fight. He said Crawford is going to win the fight. He said nobody trusts on Crawford because nobody believes Crawford can win because he's small. He said, remember what happened when David fought Goliath, and he has the potential. So basically what you're saying is because David beat Goliath with a rock, that Bud is for to get in there with 2 fists and beat Canelo. I don't know about that. You seem like a person that might like underdogs, but there's nothing wrong with that, but I wouldn't put my money on it. Well, matter of fact, put $5 on it. Because the odds ain't even that good. I don't know. Now say your money. He said Pitbull don't know how to box. He wants to finish the fight with 1 punch. Pitbull, I always said that. Pitbull is not a boxer. He's a fighter. He just fights with gloves on. He goes crazy. Like, not a lot of science involved. Like, he just real rugged. He gonna attack you. You know what I mean? His name is Pitbull. He's properly named. So still got Nakatani, Opataya, and Warley this weekend. Yeah. I think I'm gonna commentate those fights. I'm not big on the cruiserweight division. I think the cruiserweight division is the weakest division in boxing, including our bantamweight division. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I think Opataya is gonna win the fight. You know, I think Opataya is the best cruiserweight. I think eventually he's gonna use that as a way to move up, like all the cruiserweights do. They use it as a way to get acclimated, get accomplished, and decorated, and then they move up to the heavyweight division. So I don't know why Davis made the. He said, I don't know why Davis don't make the weight. Maybe Heidi. I don't know what you mean. He said, I'm still a fan, but he needs a new nickname. I say Keyshawn the Lock Davis or something like that. He said, he don't have discipline. He don't have discipline. Yeah, I could agree with that. I think he does like discipline. I don't know why. You know, listen, if an athlete ain't even made it to his highest potential, and you know, at the time 35 was really competitive, and the names were still circling around the big names, and Frank Martin is having confrontations with him, and he's smoking weed before a fight, it shows he's not disciplined. Like, bro, you can't even put the blunt down. That's crazy work right there. You can't even put the blunt down. You have to. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But yeah, I agree. He's undisciplined. He's definitely not, he's professional whenever when letting his fist go. But outside the ring, you can catch him. You can catch him being unprofessional. That's the best place to catch Keyshawn being unprofessional is outside the ring. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you. He unprofessional. You know, I couldn't even fight that. Like I said, I'm a Keyshawn fan, and I was like, yeah, bro, this is too much. It's too much. But yeah, let me see. I thought that was the actual video of him and Frank Martin going back, so I guess that wasn't it. So let me go. Oh no, this is it. That is it. Hold on. Let me put this back on the screen.
You can get it on, bro. I don't do all the talking. I see this is the first time I never seen, so I ain't with all the talking. You know what I'm talking about? So when it's time to dance, bro, we could dance. You feel me?
What happens in that fight, Frank? What happens in the fight between you and Keyshawn?
Be a good fighter. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good fight. You feel me? But you said what? You said what?
I ain't say nothing. What you say?
Oh no, it's gonna be a good fight. You know what I mean? He a good fighter. Bruh, all the tough shit, bro. I'm like that, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. You know, when I first caught glance at this, Frank Martin got the best of it, bro. Like the mere fact that they in the building, you know what I mean, and it's dark, and old boy Keyshawn got on shades trying to intimidate somebody. Like, you know, you ever seen a stare down or like a movie with like The Equalizer or something, where they'll take off their glasses so you can look them in their eyes. You remember the scene in The Equalizer where Denzel was like, "What do you see when you look in my eyes, huh? Huh, Jake?" But not, in that scene, like when he was like, "What do you see when you look in my eyes?" That's part of the intimidation factor. Like people want you to look in their eyes and know they mean business. And I feel like Keyshawn keeping on the glasses and then, you know what I mean, smiling and looking at people. You know what I mean? He made it about other people. I tell you about when people invite people into the beast, bro. They can't stand on their own. Like that's what T.O. was trying to do with Dev.
Okay,
Keyshawn, how does
like,
the
bro,
fight
I'm
between
like
you and
that,
Frank
bro.
Martin go, Keyshawn?
You say what?
How does the fight between you and Frank Martin go?
I feel like I really fuck Frank Martin up.
Bro,
I feel like I'll fuck Frank Martin up. I feel like he's not on my level.
You see who you just fought?
I feel like I got way more experience than this dude. I don't know what he. I don't know
who did you just fight.
I don't know what
who did you just fight.
He been doing out here, but y'all been knowing. Y'all been knowing what I've been doing out here. You know what I'm saying?
Look here,
y'all been knowing me.
Hey, look when it.
Yeah, when Keyshawn make a point, he always shake his head like. Look at him shake his head.
Look here,
y'all been knowing me.
When it makes sense when a mother
been doing out here, but y'all been knowing what I've been doing out here. You know what I'm saying?
Look here,
y'all been knowing me.
And with the stage, he kind of look like Stevie Wonder on the piano. My cherry, boy. Like, come on, man.
Look, when it makes sense, when a motherfucker really want to fight, I'm not with all that
I
talking.
really want to fight.
Look, bro, I will fight you. What the fuck is you saying, bro?
So tell your peoples get it right,
bro. You tell your people
we can get it right.
Hey,
we can get it right.
All I gotta do is holler at my promoter.
This is nothing.
Hey, all I gotta do is holler at my promoter.
We can get it right.
That's it.
All right, holler at
That's it. What you mean? It's up.
Holler at
It's up.
You know what that ball? You know what that ball?
You see how I came?
You know what that ball?
You feel me?
How you come? How you? Yeah, you know I'm on that same shit.
And that's cool.
I'm on that same shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I know.
You feel me?
I know. I'm on that same shit.
Yeah.
I know.
Bro, I don't know how fighters do it, bro. I can't let nobody get that close to me, bro. I'm just being honest with you. You remember when Chael Sonnen was in the house and Vanderlei Silva was trying to intimidate him in MMA, and he was like, I can no longer allow you to get close to me. That's how I am, bro. I'm not letting no dude get in my face like that, bro. When I know other boxer, bro, like, I'm just saying, bro, like, come on, man. You know how this stuff go, bro. It's about respect, man. Get out my face. We ain't signed to fight each other. And when you sign, you got the name on the contract. Okay, well, then we're going to get in the ring anyway. But, like, that's a violation, bro. People don't understand personal space, man. And these are two fighters.
How can it happen when y'all got different? What did you think about?
Hey, his man gonna make it happen. This fight gotta happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, man, this fight gotta happen. It gotta happen.
Hey, big dude.
All that shit don't be. All that shit don't be like. All that shit don't be like, young boy.
What you talking about?
Young boy, you been knowing me though.
I don't know.
I'm just getting to know you, sir.
I don't know shit about you.
They been knowing me. I'm just getting to know you, sir.
You
know, I've been standing on business.
I ain't know who you was.
I've been standing on business. This is what I've been doing.
On this business.
Boy, since the Olympics, since before the Olympics, I bet you been knowing what I've been doing, right?
I ain't even know
stop playing with me, bro. Been knowing what I've been doing.
I ain't even know you was. I ain't even know you was. What you talking about?
I bet you did. He know the fuck I am now. Fuck you talking about? Push it up. I'm on that same shit I've been on. These niggas is crazy.
Hey, look, when motherfuckers want to fight, when motherfuckers want to fight, we gonna get that shit done.
Just like you said, go talk to your promoter.
You heard me?
Hold on. Yo, he hit him with the Floyd. Shane Mosley be like you. I barely know who you is. So you asked me, he said, speaking on last week, he said, who had a better jab? He said, Charlo or Cole. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see the fight with Cole. So I can't speak on it, but I say that Charlo, bro, that was a very overrated performance. The guy he was in there with he wasn't a good fighter, bro. He was like a sparring partner that you spar with in between fights. Not even that you would bring in for a camp to get ready for somebody. He's somebody that you would stay busy with inside the gym when you're doing your regular floor work. He's not. He was awful. That's why I couldn't understand why PBC put Charlo in a fight with a guy who he could have beat blindfolded, one eye closed and one hand behind his back, and then put Caleb Plant in a fight with a guy who stylistically didn't match up with, like was a nightmare for him. Like that didn't make any sense whatsoever. So he said, I think Keyshawn was going to lose. I mean, that's a fair assessment, bro. You know what I realized? I think that a lot of people in boxing are superstitious. And I think because they're superstitious, they look at like omens and stuff like that. And I think when somebody miss weight, they automatically think it could be an upset, especially if they were already leaning to, well, Keyshawn's not focused on him. You know, he could potentially go in there and upset it. So their mind's already leaning to an upset. And then when he doesn't make the weight, they're like, oh, no, bro, look, I'm willing to put my boxing knowledge, credibility on the line that said Keyshawn was going to stop this guy, bro. And I think Sam knew it. Sam been in the business for a long time. And that's why Sam wanted to be greatly compensated, because Keyshawn was about to stop him. And when he wasn't greatly compensated, he just pulled out of the fight altogether. This guy was supposed to be a sacrificial lamb, even though I think Edwin De Los Santos was probably juicing in the 2 years that he was off and out. You know what I mean? That's why he's so confident coming back making threats. But yeah, he was gonna get iced. Hold on, let me put something on the screen. I ain't never seen beef ribs pull up before. Oh, man, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Man,
I'm like, beef ribs. Come on, man.
You knew that was.
Nah, I swear to God, I didn't know who that was. Even the picture, come on, you know my eyes ain't getting it. They ain't good as they used to be all positive. These late night lives is just frying them, bro. Like they are burning right now, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but
what you
then,
got a picture of? You got a picture of? The right bone connected to the left bone?
no, man, that's some beef ribs, man.
Bro, come on,
Some
B
beef
Red.
ribs. That's a plate I got Sunday. One of the two
Listen,
plates.
all positive. You
Yeah.
from the battle rap community. You supposed to call that Keith Thurman.
Why I
Not
call it Keith Thurman? One
because remember
time,
he said he
what?
was tender to the ribs. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. And they all, man, they fall right off the bone too, man.
And so do Keith Thurman's fall right off the bone. All positive. You know what I told X, bro, when you went up there? Like he seen it. I cannot let you continue to get close. Yeah, he seen that the thing. But Keith Thurman got so much bad luck, bro, that he didn't even get a title from beating Barrios, and Barrios is a title holder now.
Yeah.
That's how messed up his career is. Like, if Keith
Thurman
Thurman,
had 2 titles though. He was a unified champ.
and he got injured the moment he had him. Like,
Yeah.
he got injured in a Danny Garcia fight. Like, he gave us some exciting fights. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
he's the Grand Hill. He's the Grand Hill of boxing.
I
Like,
thought that Garcia fight was badly scored, man, because I picked Garcia to win, but I thought Keith Thurman just basically beat him up most of the fight. I don't think that fight should have been that close on the cards.
yeah, Garcia didn't do nothing.
Do what?
I don't think Garcia did nothing.
Yeah, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. They had it was a split decision.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it shouldn't have been that close. Because I picked Garcia to win. I thought he was gonna win. And I'm looking to fight Keith Thurman rocking this man, almost knocking him down, and at the end of the fight, they're talking about a split decision. I'm like, what?
He said, all positive. They said, why when De Los Santos grabs his co-worker's belt, it's called building hype. But when I grab my co-worker's belt, she pressing charges.
Yeah, man. Yo, well, yeah, he definitely ruined his weekend, man. Like I said, those ticket prices are crazy. Because like I said, I'm only even the last fight. I started to
Yo,
go to
what the prices look like, all positive?
man, yo, I didn't look at these prices because I know these prices are gonna be high. But the last fight he had, because there was a woman, his brother was on the call with him and all that stuff. Man, it was like, man, we talking like $2,000 for ringside. I'm like, for Keyshawn? Are you
Ringside
serious?
is always expensive, though.
I mean, not for no $2,000 for no key. Look,
What Baranchik undefeated? Ain't that the last person he fought?
Yeah, I think Keyshawn's a good fighter, but Keyshawn is really a right at this point. He's the co-main event. I think that's what his status is. I think he's a very good fighter, even as a champion. But I think he's a co-main event. I'm like, yo, this 4-belt era got everybody headlining fights. I'm like, it is crazy. I'm like, we're talking about. I come from an era that Julian Jackson wasn't even headlining any cards, and he was like the most exciting fighter in boxing. Even he was fighting. He wasn't even fighting undercard fights. He was fighting like before the people got to the arena. You got guys like Keyshawn headlining cards, man. $2,000.
Yo, it's funny that you say that, all positive, because in the fight with him and Gerald McCullough, you look in the audience and there weren't even people ringside. Like the ringside
And
tickets.
that was the most. I was in high school. It was '93. You got two of the two biggest punchers in boxing because Tyson was in prison at the time. The two biggest punchers in boxing fighting each other, and it's not a main event. Now, make sense of that to me. But yeah, this is what we get today, though.
That's failed. I ain't gonna lie, it's failed. You know, I was just looking at James Toney the other day. Well, shit, today. It wasn't even the other day. And I was looking at James Toney boxing. I was just like, oh my God, bro. Like, boxing has failed so much from grace.
These guys don't even throw combinations anymore. Everything's one punch. They don't sit on their punches. 1 or 2 punches, clinch. 1 or 2 punches, get out the way. Guys don't even stand there and throw combinations anymore, man. Boxing's in a very bad place.
Yo, he said De Los Santos is on them Mugia supplements. That's what I was waiting to tell you. I'm positive. I think he was juicing in those 2 years that he was off.
I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it.
This is my theory, all positive. This is my theory. I'm like, okay, if Canelo left 2 years, he came back, he would have a tune-up. Muhammad Ali left, 2 years, 2.5 years, came back, tune-up. Mike Tyson left 3 years, came back, tune-up, right? Why is he coming right back to the elite? A guy he would have struggled with before the fight that he had with Shakur. And he's making threats. Well, what he gonna do to Keyshawn? I'm like, bro, to come back and then make weight and then be confident. That dude is definitely on that Mugia regiment.
I think a lot of guys in boxing are on that, but it's just that it's a matter of catching them. You got to catch them to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, other than all positive, other than the fans losing out this weekend, the fight events and then the ticket sales, I mean, I feel like it's on the De Los Santos team. You know how we talk about victim shaming? I'm victim shaming in this case. I felt like he was a sacrificial lamb. He know what he was here to do. Listen, we know the top ranked machine and we know how it operates, bro. We know how that top ranked machine operates, bro. We know they're going to throw you in there with a bunch of no-hopers. Like right now, they probably looking for the replacement, telling everybody to give them $67,000, $70,000 to step in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And get knocked out by one of their other stars. You know what I mean? Abdullah Mason go win his fight. We already know how they do. What's his name? Richard Torres, throw him on the card. Jared Anderson. Top ranked greatest hits to get them to just knock a no-hoper out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game that Top Rank plays. So we already know this. So with that being said, that's what De Los Santos was supposed to be. He was supposed to be popular just in name. And Keyshawn was supposed to go in there and pull him in the guillotine. And I think that's exactly what was going to happen. And Sam realized that. So what Sam did is he said, okay, no big deal. We can still fight for the title, potentially get the upset, but we also want 6 figures. And when they try to get 6 figures from Keyshawn team, they were like, bro, what? You not Devin Haney and we not Ron Garcia.
Yo, I thought it was me. That's you. You got the static in your voice. Yeah, I switched over to the computer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I thought it was me. I switched from my phone to my computer, but that's you. Hold up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you still got static in your voice.
Right now?
Say something else.
Howdy, hey.
Yeah, it's a little static in the voice, man. Ask the people in the chat; they hear it too.
Can y'all hear static? Oh man, Bob Aaron done pressed the button. Bob Aaron done hit the button on me.
Yeah, I thought it was me at first. I'm like, man, I thought it was me because I changed over to from the phone to the computer.
What about now? Can y'all hear static?
Ain't nobody answering.
They're a little bit behind. The chat is.
Okay, they said nope, he don't. Yeah. Mr. C said he hears the static. Yep. Marco Trujillo said he doesn't hear it, but Mr. C hears it. Yeah, I hear it. I hear the static, man. I hear the static in the voice. Only when you talk, though. Not when you don't talk. Only when you talk.
Maybe it's my fan. Let me cut this fan on. What about now?
But I didn't hear it when you just said that. No.
Okay, it was the fan then. So basically what I was saying is
It's back. I hear it again.
Hold on, let me hit the refresh. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's good now.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's perfect now. It's perfect. It's not blacking out or anything. Ain't you loud and clear?
Okay, he said it was kind of a lose-lose for Keyshawn. If he stopped De Los Santos, they blame the weight. If he get a decision, they would say he looked bad. If he lost, and if he lost, they would say he was a bum. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, they said it's fixed in the chat too. So yeah, I agree. I agree. It was a lose-lose. I'm gonna just be honest with you, all positive. I said this earlier. You let me know what you think about this, because I gotta go through the genesis of this, all positive. So you know how you be on that sports betting.
Yep. I
used to be crazy with it, bro. And when I say crazy with it, I'm putting $50 on prop bets for a round.
No, I can't do that.
Because I really believe it. Because I really believe it in my opinion. I did that with Joe Smith and Better Beef. And I made a lot of money off of that. I think I made like $600 or something. But I put the round. I think I put $100 on there, and I just bet props for like 3 rounds or something. Like I spread the money up between 3 rounds, and I made a lot of money off of that. And that's when I was going bet crazy, because I'm like, man, I'm a scholar of boxing. I'm finna get rich off this. Everybody think they won one pick away from like on some lottery stuff to becoming a millionaire. So I'm like, I'm finna get rich off this. This is a full-time job. I'm the genius of all genius. But I remember one time I was looking at people to put bets on and good odds, and Keyshawn had good odds for prop bets, right? And I knew of Keyshawn, but I'm like, I don't really know this Keyshawn dude. So I went to go check him out, sparring his interviews and stuff. And I looked at the interview, and Keyshawn said in the interview, all positive, he said, look, I know we're not supposed to go out there and look for knockouts, but I'm going to go knock my opponent out. I said, uh-oh. I wouldn't put money on him and won money on him. That's when I became a Keyshawn fan, because he, like I said, he behaved like a fighter. He wasn't just talking. He really went out there and tried to do what you're supposed to do with bums, which is what the old school fighters would do, right? So I became a Keyshawn fan. But I'll posit, this is what I remember. Let me know if you remember this. He had a couple fights, like 3 fights, where he pulled out of, and I bet on him. I put money on him, and they refunded me my money because he pulled out of the fight. And I remember thinking, because I remember me and Bo was real big on Keyshawn. I was asking Bo, like, Bo, is Keyshawn sick, bro? Like, what kind of sickness do he got? Do he got like a stomach, like something wrong with his stomach and his intestines or something? Like, did he get surgery or something? Why does he keep pulling out these fights? Bo was like, I don't know.
Weight. You saying it's the weight all along?
He wasn't focused. And you know how what would lead me to believe that too, all positive? The mere fact that this man is I ain't gonna say the only man in history, but the only man to my knowledge that had his record win erased because he smoked weed. So if he smoked weed, knowing the commission wouldn't go for it, it was in Texas, wasn't it?
I don't know where it was at.
Bro, it better not have been in Texas, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you know better than that. I think it was in Texas, though. I'm not sure. But smoked weed and got his win taken away. I was like, looking at that and looking at now, he's just undisciplined. He's a fighter, bro. And I hate to say this. He might be one of them ones, all positive, that we look at like AB, like they had all the potential in the world, but they never lived up to it.
Don't put that on him.
I'm just saying, he handled his business in the ring. True enough. But if you look at the not making weight stuff, you know what I mean? Has he even issued an apology to his fans?
I don't know if he has or not.
Because whenever he did the live the next day after he smoked weed, he basically was like, it was weed. Man, I can't believe they took my loss for weed. Like, he was mad about that.
He smoked weed knowing that stays in your system about 30 days, man.
Why smoke weed? Why smoke, period?
Yeah. Anything. Weed, cigarettes, vaping, anything.
Yeah, as an athlete in a sport where you need your lungs, why smoke? That's what made me be like, he might be. Bro, you know what he tried to say that I remember all positive? Yeah. He tried to say all these people want to be like him. Somebody tested positive for marijuana after him, and he tried to say that they were trying to be like him.
So people want to test positive and get their wins raised.
Yes. I was like, what the? Keyshawn done lost his mind. And you know, Keyshawn fought somebody on PEDs before.
Who's that?
I don't know. I want to say, I don't remember. I don't remember, but he said it, and I do recall. I ain't fact check it. Let me not even say. Matter of fact, scratch that because I ain't fact checked it yet. I don't want to give Keyshawn no praise. I'm trying to find a video I'm trying to find a video where he talked about being suspended for smoking weed because he was going ham on his live. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go. I don't know if I should use this, but we here. F it. What Bill O'Reilly say? All positive. F it. We'll do it live. Here we go. Bob Aaron. No, it says Bob Aaron goes off on the commission. No, I want Keyshawn Davis goes off on the commission.
Why is he going off on the commission if he missed weight?
No, I'm talking about for the weed.
Oh, okay. Why is he going on the commission for weed?
It says Timothy Bradley goes off on Keyshawn for missing weight, shames him for unprofessional BS.
Look, I actually don't disagree. I agree with Tim Bradley about this.
The world is fitting in. You say that one more time. I don't think I heard that right.
I agree with Tim Bradley about this, man. This is
wow.
Look, and Tim Bradley said he said the same thing I said. It's like I could be understand a pound or some ounces. This man is almost he missed weight by a whole nother weight class almost.
Now he weighed in 149. So 149 and a half. So he did miss it.
139 and a half.
You sure? Hold on. I know my eyes ain't that bad.
It was 139.
Don't tell me. I'll probably don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
It's at 135.
Don't tell me that, man. Hold on. Let me see. Did I see that wrong?
Yeah. He weighed over 4 pounds.
No, it said 149 according to Reed Magazine. Oh, that's okay. That's the limit. Hold on. So forward with the fight under a second day weigh-in the limit of 149 and a half for Keyshawn. Yeah, that's what they saying he weighed.
Oh man, he did. He fight at 135. There's no way he came in 15 pounds over.
I'm just telling you what the magazine said. Maybe I misunderstood it. Read that for me, all positive. Tell me if I'm misunderstanding that.
Can't even see. Hold on. Let me get my glasses. I can't even see that. Hold on.
You worse than me. It says according to the ring, Keith, I don't know the dude's name. Dick and Mike Hoppinger on the two sides initially agreed to move forward with the fight under the second day weigh-in.
They said they would move forward.
Got you.
Put in as long as he didn't go past 149.
Got
like
you.
It's
okay,
a 10 day, it's a 10 pound restriction. Like if you 10 pound, like if you got to weigh in no more than 10 pounds on the morning of the fight, not the night, but the morning of the fight. But that means a 10-pound restriction. So he denied that because even though he missed weight, he's like, okay, you can miss weight, but you can't put on more than 10 pounds tomorrow morning at the same day weigh-in. And he denied that. But I mean, even after that, you can put on as much as you want before the fight, but it's just that you got to be 10 pounds, not 10 pounds over morning of the weigh-in.
I got you. Okay, here we go. I found it. Man, that took a long time. That's the one thing I hate about YouTube. When you got something, you got to save it or archive it because it'll be hard to find later. That algorithm be
erased. It might be erased.
That too. I've had clips that got erased. But here we go. Keyshawn.
Some pointers.
Tell me this ain't giving you AB vibes. I'm positive.
Oh, man.
Tell me this ain't giving you AB vibes, bro. Bro, him dancing, smiling. I mean, this after he didn't had his victory erased. I don't know. This just gave me AB vibes. I don't know. Is it just me all positive or are you getting them too?
He's getting too much too soon.
I'm a fumble. Mingle Gunners about to jump. Just dropping a whole crib. Hold on. Try a good night. Just my brother try to stay up. Hey, they cancel my shit. All right, I'm gonna go buy a house there. They gonna cancel me? Okay. 9 months suspension? Okay. Let me go buy a house real quick while I'm bullshitting. I put in so much work this year. I had to go put it.
They suspended him for that?
Yeah. Yeah, you get suspended for weed.
9 months?
You can get suspended for weed. Weed is technically it's a drug. I mean, even though it's not a performance enhancement drug, but it's a drug.
Dang, 9 months is kind of harsh though. That's crazy.
It's a something. Had to go secure it in something. You know what I'm saying? Right with tax time around. Yes, sir. Gotta know how to do it. You gotta know how to do it, sir. Tax time around. Oh, word. Let me go drop by the house. I never go broke. Real businessman. Stop playing with it. Okay. Thank you so much. You too. Out here, man. Serving products. That's my stick.
Even his fit giving me AV vibes.
Hey, he ain't the only one miss weight though. Today, there's a big fight tomorrow. There's a big UFC card tomorrow night. Sean O'Malley's fighting, and the undercard, you got Juliana Pena's fighting on the undercard. That's the main fight I want to see. She's fighting Kayla Harrison. But on the undercard, Silva, Ariane Silva, she missed weight by 7 pounds. Like she wasn't even trying to make weight.
So what is the procedure in UFC?
Oh, they kept, man, 7 pounds. Oh, they canceled out that fight. That's an undercard fight though. They canceled out. Yeah, but it was still a big fight. But you know what I'm saying, even though the undercard, they're fighting for their position in the weight class. But yeah, she missed that. She missed by 7 pounds. So yeah, they ain't even try. She ain't even try to make weight.
Hey, it is what it is. 7 pounds. If they ain't mad at the UFC person for getting their fights canceled, they shouldn't be mad at.
That's not even a big fight though. That's one of the free ESPN fights. That's the undercard. So ain't nobody worried about that one. That's a preliminary ESPN card fight they're gonna show during the day. Ain't nobody care about that one. But yeah, man. What's that Mayweather fighter, that prospect? Didn't he miss weight by like 7 or 8 pounds too?
Yeah. You talking about what's his name? I call him Baby Tank. I'm trying to
That's a lot of weight, man. That's a
No,
lot of
bad
weight.
names. What's the old dude's name? Dang, bro. Dude with the braces. He actually a good fighter.
Yeah, I know. I've seen him fight. I just don't remember his name.
And golly, Mr. C, can you put it in the chat? Somebody put it in the chat, man. I'm frying my brain over here thinking about it. Bro, Abdullah Mason keeps popping up in my head when I try to think about him. It ain't Abdullah Mason. What's that dude's name? Baby Tank, man. Golly, I'm gonna have to look him up real quick because it's gonna bug me if I don't find him out. Over here at Mayweather Promotion. What's the little dude's name? Man, it is. I don't. Camille Moulton. Golly, bro. I'm the worst person to ask for a name, bro. That's crazy. Camille Moulton. That's it.
I get this rental car. In a hotel lobby. Damn. Hello. I just want to show y'all that I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing to say. No boxing, no nothing. I'm just happy. Can I show y'all happiness? This true happiness. When they cancel me, okay, I'm going to go buy a house on their ass. I don't care. Go ahead and cancel me for 90 days. I bet. House. What the fuck you talking about? Don't play with me. I ain't stopping no motion. We keep it going. Cancel me for 9 months. Alright. Bet. I'll try to get this key. I don't wait in no lines for the rental cars. I go straight to the car. They say go straight to D10 to get your rental car. You don't got to wait in no line. You a member. You know what I'm saying? When you're a member, you don't wait in no lines. You just go straight to the fleet, nigga. They say go straight to D10. Go to D10. But I want a truck. They gave me an SUV. I want a truck. So I'm going to go ahead and see what they got and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is a little vlog. No, I'm not. Fuck you talking about?
Well, on this side right now, my computer is kind of acting up. It won't go there, so it has to come here.
Not right now. Now maybe
All right, so
hey, bro, this shit is crazy. Not right now.
Yo, I'm positive. In your experience, and your age, when a person try to go out of their way to show they happy, how they really feeling?
They're not happy.
Yeah, he cares, bro. When a person, you know when people say they don't care, just listen to them and they'll tell you the thing they care most about right after they tell you they don't care. That's how life goes. That's how life. But yeah, Keyshawn, he basically said in that video he don't give a F. He had got suspended. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, you haven't even made it yet. Like that should be devastating to you.
Yeah, it's like Keyshawn talks like a guy that is a freaking 10-year vet, pay-per-view superstar, and could pick and choose and just grab a guy off the street and he'll get $10 million for it. The way he talks, you think he was like this big time fighter.
Agreed. Yeah, he ain't made it yet. You know what happened? All positive people start acting like they made it before they made it. Well, we got. There's a formula. There's a history of people that's documented of that, and we call them agent runners. So, hey man, Keyshawn, you gotta get it together, bro. All right, bro. I'll catch you on the next one. He said he got to go to work. He said, I set up and fight. I said, I don't know what he means by that. But yeah, all positive. But listen, Keyshawn got to take a lot of blame for this. I heard, I was listening. I watch a couple of YouTubers every now and then, and they were saying, Keyshawn did all this talking, and for him to do all this talking, you know what I mean, and then not show up on weight shows a lot about his character. But I look at it like this, man. I remember when we went to school, there was this guy who was really good at football. He was actually cold. He was cold, all positive, but he didn't take football serious. Everything was God given. You ever seen Friday Night Lights?
Oh yeah, Booby
Miles. He was Booby Miles. He was Booby Miles. Put me in, coach. I'm about to spin. That was him. Booby Miles. He basically what basically like wouldn't show up to work out. I'll positive. I remember this, bro. I remember this. We had like a day where you maxed out, right? Mm-hmm. And there was this guy who used to work out every day. He was one of those guys that you would see give a TED talk or something, Mm-hmm. Man worked out every day, all positive. Looking in the mirror for hours, staring at his traps, and the Booby Miles dude, he showed up the day of when we were maxing out, all positive. And when I tell you that man grabbed 315 all positive off the bar and lifted it, didn't even struggle once, and then just left outside the gym, bro, that dude who worked hard every day was hating hard, but it was just like, bro, favor isn't fair. It's not fair. Ain't nothing you could do about it,
It is gonna those habits will catch up with you because Jason Williams, you probably seen the clip. He was on Vlad. Jason Williams to play for the Philadelphia 76ers. He was there as a rookie with Charles Barkley. Was that Charles Barkley last season with the 76ers? Jason Williams was a rookie right before Barkley got traded. But he said Barkley, he said he never saw Barkley practice. He said the whole season, he saw Barkley practice maybe twice. he said he never prayed that he would come to practice, get on the exercise bikes and eat McDonald's every day. And still terrorizing the league.
That's why he don't got no championship.
But that's why Barkley, like towards the end of his career, he was overweight and he was injury prone. Like I said, you got to take care of your body, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? Your body's gonna take care of you as time goes on when you get older. Yeah, you can get away with stuff. Like Keyshawn, he can get away with this stuff now, like missing weight and smoking weed and all this stuff. Like he's like AB. When you're younger, you can get away.
I don't even think he can get away with it. I think listen, look what it did to him now. He probably smoked weed for this fight. He probably was definitely untrained, like not training for this fight. And look at the results. The results was, you know, he missed out on the fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's been catching up to him. I think we just ain't really been noticing or paying attention. Like I said, with the marijuana stuff, with the suspension, we didn't pay attention to that. The pulling out of fights randomly, that's another sign. You know, and this definitely is a sign. Showing up that much out of weight, it's like, bro, what were you doing? You definitely wasn't focused on your opponent. I understand with Camaro Moulton because he's a younger guy, you know, and he's taking a lot of step-up fights, so he probably ate a little bit. He likes discipline, you know? He likes discipline, so I get it with him. I don't get it with Keyshawn, who's moving around like he's Floyd Mayweather, like you said, like a seasoned veteran out here that have been in the game that's making a whole lot of money. Like whenever he got a suspension, he's going live to tell everybody he really don't care about the suspension. He finna go buy a house. Okay. That's your way of sticking it to the people that suspended you. I'm gonna go buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
You think they care about your house? Because I don't know if this is true or positive. They said De Los Santos still got paid.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, it's good if it's true, but I never heard about somebody getting paid for a fight.
So listen, I'm not in the business, man. I'm a businessman, but I can only trust the words that I hear. And I can remember one time Rachel Donner was on the show, and she basically said that, you know, when Shakur was supposed to fight was it Cancellation?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Cancellation? I can't remember.
I don't know when it was, but yeah. Right.
But Shakur missed weight.
Mm-hmm.
And or was it Constiel? What, bro? I don't know. I'm horrible with names. But when he was about to fight him, it was his last fight at 35. When he was about to fight him, Shakur missed weight. And when Shakur missed weight, she was saying that Shakur, he could have just pulled out of the fight and he would have still got paid, because if they don't make the weight that they agree upon on the contract, you don't even have to fight them. You get paid for doing, like, just making a weight. And she said that he could have pulled out of the fight, made the weight, and then got a title shot, because remember, Shakur was stripped of the title.
Yeah.
But instead he went and took the fight and got beat up, you know, and lost the fight, which didn't even make any sense as far as his career goes. Why, bro, you train all this time to be a champion. You're already overmatched. And then a guy that's better than you, you know, he comes in overweight. Why not take the payday anyway and then go fight for the belt that they're going to strip him of, and then potentially beat that guy and become a champion? Because Shakur beat you up and then entered another weight class.
Yeah.
You know what? It was his last fight at 130, excuse me. His last fight at 130 before moving up to 35. Yeah, I'm getting tired, man. That was like an easy one, should have come. But yeah, he beats you up. He beats you up, and then it's the last fight before he moves up to the next weight class. And you don't get no belt for it. You know what I mean? And you got the same payday you would have got if you had not fought him at all. That don't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that in this case he might have got paid. Going off of that, like I said, I don't know for sure. But if we go on by what Rachel said, and we're taking it at face value, well then he definitely got paid. He got paid, and he deserves it, making a weight that he agreed upon with steroids. But he still did it. He still did it. Yo, I'm positive. What have you seen in Keyshawn's next fight that the fight is scheduled and then he mysteriously pulls out again? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, out of all the fighters are positive, he gotta be the most canceled fighter of all time. And I mean that like the 3 fights where he just mysteriously pulled out. You know what I mean? The fight that was erased off of his record is a fight that happened or really didn't happen. And then he had a 9-month suspension, and then this fight not happening. Like he's got to be I can't think of nobody that pump fake this much. Because even him saying he want to fight Abdullah Mason and weight class that he said he outgrown and not gonna fight it no more.
That's crazy. Yeah, because that's a good fight though. I like I said about that Abdullah Mason. I don't want to see this fight in 2030. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them waiting around talking on Twitter for 5 years. If they want to do it now. Perfect time. So either guy lose, it's not gonna affect their career. Like whatever guy lose, you still got a whole career ahead of you.
But wait a minute, that's what John the Beast Mugabe thought.
Yeah, but ain't neither one of these guys fighting Hagler. Ain't one got Hagler. They ain't gonna take a beating. The only reason John Mugabe's career didn't end because he had a loss, and because he took a 9-round beating. That's what happened in his career.
Abdullah Mason got power.
Yeah, but Abdullah Mason's got the kind of power. He touch you, you go to sleep. If he hits you flush, you're not gonna take 9 rounds of Abdullah Mason punches. Yeah, lightweight.
So I was watching a video, and this will let me further believe that Edwin De Los Santos is on the juice. I was watching a video of B. Norman Jr. and he was talking, and he said that he sparred Terence Crawford. I think he said he sparred Tank and De Los Santos, and he said that De Los Santos was one of the hardest punchers he ever been in the ring with. I'm like, hitting harder than Bud? But that dude definitely on some juice. It ain't no way. All positive.
I agree.
There's no way.
I agree.
A dude that's bigger testifying saying that this dude is one of the hardest punches he's ever been in the ring with, and he's been in the ring with Bud. Bud is technically a bigger guy now. Yo, all positive. What you feel about Nestor Gibbs saying that Victor Conte alluded to fighters taking off long periods of time because they're juicing, which is what Edwin De Los Santos just did.
I think that makes perfect sense.
So Bud just taking off all this time. You know what I mean?
It makes
so what do you feel about Bud juicing?
Bud is with snacks, but I can't really accuse Bud of that because, like I said, he's always piss clean, and if he is, until he's proven guilty, even if he is guilty, until he's proven guilty, we can't make that.
Okay, no, hold on. Let's open up these can of worms.
No. I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
yeah.
let's say Bud is not on. He's on that snack regimen.
Yeah.
For these months, and he show up and he like 190 after rehydrating, and he's solid muscle, and he go in there and dominate Canelo.
That's pretty cool right there. You know what it is.
And he knocked Canelo out.
You know what it is.
You're not even gonna wait for the results of the test. You're gonna immediately say, "Bud is juicing." Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If he go in there and dog Canelo out like he did Spence, bro, he definitely on some juice. Because ain't no way that happens. Not gonna lie, B. Norman Jr. also said that because Bud dogged out Errol Spence, he can't root against him no more. You heard me?
Yeah, I heard.
He said if he fight Usyk, he gonna pick Bud.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it ain't worth commenting.
Yeah, Usyk go kill Bud. And you know that's a thing. That's a thing, bro. I always say this. You know, you one punch away, bro. And when I say that, I might get that on the t-shirt. You're always one punch away, right? You're one punch away from being overrated. You're one punch away from being the greatest in the eyes of people that watch minute reels because they have a short attention span and they can't remember the history. You know, that's why they make fighters washed up after one loss. They live for the moment and not even, you know, all the way down to the second. And then when a minute's over, they don't even remember what they just said or what they just try to stand on business on, right? Like Derrick James, they throwing him away today. They saying he was overrated as a trainer. If Derrick James get 2 or 3 more fighters and they start winning, they're gonna be trying to say he's the GOAT again. He's the greatest trainer of all time. That's just how that goes, you know. And I think that with Bud, when he beat Spence, I think we overrated him. Well, I ain't gonna say we, because I didn't overrate him. I said his legs was gone. You know what I mean? I didn't overrate Bud, but people did based on what they thought Spence was gonna do. Their expectations for Spence made them overrate the Bud Spence win, in my opinion. Because, you know, based off what B. Norman Jr. was saying, he was saying that he'll never root against Bud again, no matter who he fight, Anthony Joshua, Usyk, etc., because of what he did to Spence. And I'm just like, bro, what he did to Spence, we were saying he was going to do to Spence for 5 years, and they were the same weight. You know, Canelo ain't no Spence. If Spence fought Canelo, he would probably would have happened the same fashion.
And he would have did it worse.
So we can't overrate Bud. But I ain't lie to you all positive. I went and looked at the film, you know, after trying not to be caught up in the moment, and I was just looking at Canelo and how he does against smaller guys. He imposes his strength. He takes more chances. He walks through punches more. You know, he blocks a lot of shots. And I'm like, yeah, Bud's gonna go. But I already know what Bud is gonna do. And I went to go look because I've been searching for clips to break down because I got a Bud versus Canelo breakdown coming on members only. But I went to go look at how Bud was gonna fight him and how he's gonna come out. He has to fight a perfect fight in a very disciplined fight, and he's not gonna do it. He's gonna come in there and be Bud. He's gonna come in there. He's gonna say, "Are the rumors true? Like, does he punch hard?" Same thing he did with Errol Spence. Because then when Errol Spence hit him, he said, "Oh, that's all you got? It's over." It's like, bro, you shouldn't even got caught with that shot.
I truly believe Canelo's not gonna put anything on the punches early to try to lure him in.
Nah, I disagree. I think Canelo gonna be doing whatever. I see Bud coming out, drawing a line in the sand because he got to give Canelo's respect.
Exactly. I said this earlier. I said Bud's probably gonna win the first 3 rounds. Maybe he's gonna be looking good until he starts getting hit. And I think Canelo's not gonna put everything on it early to get Bud to stand in front of him. And then that dynamite gonna start coming around round 6 or 7.
My bad. I disagree. I think that I think Bud is gonna come out and like he did in the Sean Porter fight. I think he's gonna try to stand in the mid range. And I think, you know, the same thing that killed the cat is gonna kill Bud. That curiosity. You know, can I take the punch? Does he punch as hard as they say he does? I think that's gonna get the best of Bud. And I think that's gonna be the final nail on the coffin for Bud. I think
I thought they said Bud was sparring with Triple G. You know what they said?
Who said that?
I've been reading that on reports, man. But I don't know. That's why I never repeat it because I don't know how true it is. I'm just saying that's what everybody's saying, that he's sparring with Triple G. I don't know why, because sparring with Triple G is not going to help you with Canelo as far as skill wise.
Well, whether it's true or whether it's not, Triple G, Mipple G, Canelo in 6.
6? Dang, you selling them short, ain't you?
Nah, I was trying to get it like close to 5 because, you know, Shannon Sharp, when he do Lakers in 5, I was trying to do Canelo.
I think Bud would win the first 2 or 3 rounds. I think he's going to look good the first 2 or 3 rounds until, you know, You know, he starts to, because think about Bud, no matter who he's fighting, he's gonna go to them ropes. And I don't know why it would be different now that he's about 40.
No, I don't think he's gonna go to them ropes so fast.
But
Nah, Canelo.
move like that though. Like
Yeah,
easy.
Canelo gonna put him on the ropes. It just Canelo's lazy at this point. I don't know if he'll let him escape or if he'll pin him and trap him on the ropes, which is really his best bet to win, in my opinion. That's really his best bet to win, Canelo. Pin Bud against the ropes, you know, and try to knock him out. In my opinion, that's what I would do if I was Canelo.
Yeah.
But who knows if he'll do it? I'll pause. I would just say this though. I'll pause. Did you get my text about the odds of that fight?
What fight?
I don't know. I just sent you a plus. I asked ChatGTP what fight got good odds on it, and I sent you the fight. It was a UK fight. I think it's happening tomorrow.
Yo, that's a lot of fights, man. I got my parlay stacked up to the max.
What you got?
What do you mean? I mean, like, let me go to it, man. I got my parlay stacked on that, man. Like, I don't even know who these guys are, man. So many guys, man, is fighting. Red Johnson, Jack Williams, Fernando Valdez. Like, they're like minus 5,000, minus 1150, minus 3,000. So, like, I just stacked them up so I can double my money up.
So wait a minute, you be making blind bets?
Yeah, I be making blind. I be winning the blind bets in boxing. I be winning the blind bets. It's the the fights that I know, like the Caleb Plants, the one that screwed me. You know what I'm saying? I win the blind ones.
Why not just do it like
no, these I don't do the blind bets minus 100 or anything less than minus 14. I ignore. You know what I'm saying? I ignore those. It got to be for at least 1,400 minus 1,400.
So I sent you some odds.
You don't see many upsets in boxing. There's one thing about
Nah, that's not true.
Now I'm talking about like on the undercard. You don't see many on the undercard. You don't see many upsets in boxing on the undercards because they're trying to build these. I'm talking about the up and coming fighters. They're trying to build these guys up, so they put them in the ring with guys that they're supposed to win. Like Andy Cruz is at minus 1,600 on his fight, and Abdullah Mason is minus 2,400. We know Abdullah Mason is going to knock his opponent out. We know that. I could probably do a side bet on a knockout on that fight.
Yeah, you should do a prop bet on.
On a knockout of that one. So we know the outcome. Those.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Troy Isley's fighting. I know Troy Isley. Yeah, he's fighting as well.
I sent you a text, man. I don't know. It was a while back, but I sent you a screenshot of some good odds because I asked AI like, "Hey, what's going on with these odds? What good odds you got for me?" And it sent me that one. And I looked at the record. I'm like, "Bro, this ain't a for sure win for the other guy." You know, if this guy, like, I didn't look at styles or anything. I'm like, it was like plus 14. I'm like, bro, I might throw $5 at this. Might throw $5 at this guy winning, because like plus 14, you can't lose. $5 is $5.
Yeah, $5 ain't that much. You can gamble on that one.
So I'm positive. I never got your take on Tio, brother. How you feel about Tio?
Man, Tio's a duck.
Will you bet something?
$11 million a lot of money, man. I'll fight. Look, I'll call Turkey. Like, look, put me in the ring with Devin Haney for that. At least I know I ain't gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? He gonna win the fight. Devin Haney's gonna win the fight, but I know I'm not gonna get any life threatening injuries.
You want to hear something cold?
Uh-huh.
Ike Abuchi been calling Turkey for a long time. Ike Abuchi will probably do it for $2 million.
Yeah, man. I should just that man in 15 years, man. Like dog, you and your 50s right now. I don't want to see him get hurt because you can't take punches the same way you took when you was back in the day. I don't know why guys think that. Yeah,
I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at.
You talking Pacquiao?
No, Mike Tyson, brother. And that listen,
Oh no,
man,
I'm talking about, no,
that was that was a humiliation ritual, brother.
yeah, no, I wasn't talking about. I was really talking about in general, and I was alluding to Pacquiao as well. No, I wasn't thinking about Mike Tyson. I was talking about Pacquiao. That he got that fight coming to Barrios, and I do think Pacquiao all time better than Barrios. This goes without saying. I don't think Barrios that good of a fighter, but 46 is 46. 46 is 46 years old, regardless of how you spin it.
Now, with that being said, if Manny Pacquiao pulls it off, are you going to suspect steroids or greatness?
I suspect it now. You talking about I suspect it. Win or lose, I'm still suspecting it. I mean, it's Pacquiao, man. Why else would this man have the confidence to get in the ring at 46 years old after that beating he took from Ugas 4 years ago? What else is giving him this confidence?
Barrios being trash.
Okay, we do know that. We do know Barrios is not a good fighter. But man, you got it. Ugas wasn't that good. I mean, you know, I did have Ugas beating Sean Porter, but you know, Ugas not known as a puncher. I think Barrios hits harder than Ugas. I don't think he's as good as Ugas. I think Ugas is better.
The coolest part about that is Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao and Barrios beat Ugas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I think.
And Manny Pacquiao was being fed soup by his wife after the fight, and he was like, "You know what? I think I could beat. I could beat him."
It's just I don't see anything good come from it. And the commission should be ashamed for giving this man a license to fight. But hey, Foreman and Holmes fought in their late 50s, but this is heavyweights. Heavyweights aren't as fast as the welterweights.
And that's what I'm trying to say. If Pacquiao goes in there and if Pacquiao get this done, listen, we're going to have to start looking at Pacquiao's greatest of all time.
Oh man, that would be Barrios.
We got to all positive, only because of this. Eight different divisions. Is it 8 or is it 5?
It's 8, but you gotta look. Even though it's 8 of it, you gotta put that in the context, man. I mean, I can see if he was the ring champion in 8 different divisions, man. I think being the ring champion in 3 divisions or 4 divisions is better than jumping up each weight class, grabbing a belt. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, because you're not the man.
He was beating lineal guys at the weight classes, though.
Yeah, even beating a lineal guy don't mean you beat the best guy in the weight class all the time.
What?
All the time it don't mean that, because sometimes you got to think. Shannon Briggs was the lineal champion. He got a controversial decision against.
I was about to say, man, come on. They wanted George Foreman to lead the sport. That's why they robbed him of that.
Being a lineal champion don't always mean something without context. That's why you got to look at the context of it. Shannon Briggs, the lineal champ.
Man, all I gotta say is this: if Manny Pacquiao goes and pulls it off, 8 different divisions. He started at, didn't he start at like 115? Went all the way up to 154. What did he fight? He fought in a catchweight, didn't he? What did he fight?
He still got a 154 joint, yeah.
And did that, beat Keith Thurman, beat Adrian Broner, beat Lucas Matisse. You know what I mean? Like it's the stretch of the longevity, the people that he fought. You know what I mean? And then he was so bad that people favored him to beat Errol Spence. Let's be honest. People favor Manny Pacquiao to beat Errol Spence based on what he did to Keith Thurman. If he goes and beats Barrios at 46 years old, we're going to have to start looking at Manny Pacquiao as one of the best fighters or greatest fighters to ever do it.
Well, he's already one of the greatest fighters to ever do it.
Exactly. So adding Mario Barrios head to the wall, being 46 years old. See, it's harder to do it in a lower weight than it is to do it at heavyweight. At heavyweight, there's less punches. Heavyweights age differently. You know, they go into their old ages. Heavyweights.
So why doesn't Bernard get that same respect?
He does
for beating Pascal. And he was
He
40.
does. Man, I give Bernard up, bro. Come on, man. He's talking to me, man.
He was 49 years old and he beat Pascal.
I give Bernard a ton of credit, bro, for doing that. I give Bernard a ton of credit for doing that, man. I give Bernard a ton of credit, but I'm just saying, you know, if Manny Pacquiao's able to pull this off, bro, I mean, people gonna blame steroids.
I'm hoping Manny Pacquiao doesn't pull off because you know what's gonna happen if he pulls it off. Tell me what's gonna happen if
Boots gonna try to fight him.
No, man. Yeah, not only that, if Boots are to fight, Manny Pacquiao's gonna take the fight, and I definitely don't want to see that. I do not want to see Pacquiao get hurt. That's my main thing. I don't want to see guys get hurt. I've already witnessed more than a few deaths in the ring looking at these live fights. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that, especially from a great fighter like that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Fighters like Manny Pacquiao want to fight. I just seen a video the other day, and I want to say it was Jake LaMotta, one of those guys who lived to be like 90 years old, still in the street shadow boxing. And I was like, bro, it never leaves them all positive. Even Sugar Ray still train boxing, post videos, him shadow boxing, showing off his speed at what, 70 years old? Like, it never leaves him, bro. Like, I looked at Cam Newton, and Cam Newton, they was like, you know, Ayana was asking him, is he done with football? And he was like, in my head, yeah. In my heart, no. That's a boxer right there. Boxers never, they like the hey champ. They like people kissing their buds. They like all of that stuff, man. And it's addictive. Think about it. Think about this all positive.
I know.
The moment people wake up, what is the first thing they do?
Look in the mirror?
Nah, before that.
Stretch?
Grab their phone. They reach for their phone. They don't kiss their loved ones. They don't kiss their babies. They reach up and grab that phone. And the reason they grab that phone is because that phone is full of sensations that's gonna give you a dopamine rush. So they be on it. The moment that they grab, they want that dopamine. Human beings are dopamine craved. You know what I mean? Because we get to experience it more than the people of yesteryear. You know, technology makes life really, really easy for us because, you know, the other day we was talking about, you know, looking at corn, you know, and you know, everybody was like, yeah, you know, we the dopamine rush and stuff like that. It's like, bro, people get dopamine rushes from these late night conversations on YouTube. It's no difference. If you hooked electrodes up to somebody's brain and you looked at them when they have a free smoke panel. And you look, it would be the same dopamine rush that they're getting from the free smoke panel that they would get from watching corn.
Well, I'm telling you, I'd definitely be on Reddit, so I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm up there.
So that's what I'm saying. You know, YouTube knows the analytics of how long that they spend. But the point I was making with that is human beings are gonna be human beings. You know, at the end of the day, and they're gonna have some type of addiction or a good feeling or want to feel good about themselves. That's why you have stress eaters. When people feel bad, they go eat their favorite food and they feel good afterwards. You see people on 1,000-pound lives, they be borderline death. I ain't even gonna say borderline diabetic. They be borderline death. Can't move, can't walk around, got sores everywhere. But they still use their wheelchair to go to the ice cream truck or use their.
I don't put on some weight like before.
What's good, most hated?
I go up over 20 pounds, but I don't know how somebody could put on 400 or 500 pounds, man. I don't get that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I know I'd be saying this, but I am definitely gonna start doing pre-records and then, you know, play them, and then if I want to react to them. But like the sleep schedule, when I go to sleep early in the daytime, when I go to sleep early and wake up in the morning, I feel so good. Like I got so much energy throughout the day. You know, even my eyes don't hurt as much like they are burning now. You know, and I was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna have to stop doing this. I'm gonna have to stop doing this, bro. I'm gonna have to do either a pre-record, schedule it to play, and let it be what it is, or I gotta do something because not only that, I want to start working out, man. Like I look at, you know how when people be in a relationship all positive and they start gaining weight, and the first thing everybody says, "Oh, they happy." Like, no, they complacent. There's a difference. That's what Keyshawn Davis is. That's why he keep missing weight. That's why he's undisciplined. He's comfortable.
He's comfortable.
complacent.
He's getting all this money that he's never seen in his life before, and he think it's gonna keep coming in because he's getting all this money.
You want me to be an example of all positive? We want to go to nature. If you go to the zoo, what's the first animal everybody wants to see the first time? The lion. And when you go look at that lion, you know, it's amazing to look at them. Oh, the lion, but that lion is lazy as hell. They ain't even a real lion. He an iron. They done removed his L. He an iron.
I look at nature. That's most I look at all the time. Nature video. I got different nature playlists like lion. I got about 400-500 videos in my lion playlist. Cheetahs, gators, all this. And my wife asked me a question. She's like, "What happens when take the lion from the zoo and they put him in the wilderness?" He wouldn't survive one day. Because lions in the zoo don't hunt. They don't know how to hunt. They grew up there.
Zebra gonna eat them. If you put him out there, a wild zebra gonna eat that lion.
He wouldn't know how to hunt or to survive. You know what I'm saying? So he's had his food fed to him every day, and because the lion in the wilderness they only eat every 3 or 4 days. You know what I'm saying? When they eat, they gorge. They gorge, eat a lot of food. Like they eat like 100. They could eat up to 100 pounds because they don't eat a lot. But lions in the zoo, they don't feed them that much because they eat every day. So they might feed them 15, 20 pounds a day like that. They don't have to, and they're not walking around in the sun all day. So, but take that lion who's sitting in the AC in a zoo, and he's getting fed every day. He has clean water. Now put him in the wilderness where he has to drink dirty water. He has to find dirty water, and he has to navigate through territories that's not his own and worry about fighting other lions who are built to fight. He wouldn't last one day.
You know what's crazy about that all positive? That the lion in this scenario is human beings, man. Like people don't realize it because we was taught that struggle is bad. That's why we try to take it away from our kids, even though struggle made us who we is. It's the same thing with the lion scenario. It's like if you take something like an animal, you know what I mean, with this animalistic brain, and you start making it comfortable, you feed it a whole bunch of meat every day. It ain't hunting. It ain't learning the laws of lion. It ain't learning the language of lion. So it becomes comfortable. You know what I mean? And that's why you see a lion getting fat. You know what I mean? And that's what you see. I say all that to say, I'm complacent at this point, and I don't like it. I don't like the way I feel complacent. I don't like I'm finna recreate drive. Because I always got drive. Like you see, I done did 3-4 lives a day. But I mean, like drive. There was a time where I was getting like 2-3 hours of sleep, and I was just pumping out stuff, just natural, no caffeine, no nothing, just water. That's all I drank, a lot of water. You know what I mean? I'm finna get back to that. You know what I mean? Because that stuff like that forces you to adapt. You know what I mean? I just can't believe how far I done fell from grace. Like on YouTube, arguing with YouTubers, bro. Like that is insane, bro. That's insane. Like looking at that whole situation just made me be like assess where I want to be and where I am, and I was disgusted, bro. Like I started thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, Customato had a saying that was like, when you look at somebody's body and it looks disgusting and it's flabby, imagine what their brain looks like, and that's true. That is true. Like, do you think a person that's 1,000 pounds could have discipline in any aspect of their life?
No, I don't. I really don't.
I don't see it either.
And it's funny you bring that up. It's like I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about high school because it's our high school graduations here in our county, and I picked up the Daily Reflector because I know a lot of those kids since I know a lot of their parents. I know a lot of those kids since they were babies, they was born. I know their parents, and I think about the kids that don't graduate high school, and because they couldn't hang and they didn't want to go through it. And I'm thinking, and it's not true for everybody, but I'm thinking like, yo, if you're a person and you can't get up every day, you go to school every day, and you get a free meal at school, and your parents taking care of you every day. I'm not talking about the people that don't have parents at home. I'm talking about people you have parents taking care of you. They send you to school. You get meals. You don't have to worry about bills or anything. If you can't do that for 13 years, then you're going to struggle at life. You don't have discipline to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have discipline to go to school for 13 years and your parents taking care of you. I'm not talking about the people with bad parents, but people with good parents. And you're going to struggle at life when you get out of high school, because that means you don't have discipline to want to do better for yourself. And I'm not talking about making straight A's and none of that. I'm just saying, just going through high school, just doing the basics and getting through it.
Agreed. I looked at my life and I said, man, I need to have more discipline. You know what I mean? I don't need to be like James Toney. You know, I don't want to just talk about fighters and their lack of discipline. I'm going to be more disciplined as far as my diet goes. I didn't already shop. You know, I'm going to get on this. I'm motivated. All positive.
Yeah,
I'm motivated.
You got to also surround yourself with motivated like people. And
hold on, brother. Elaborate on that a little bit more. What you mean? So,
in general, just surround yourself with people who are motivated as well.
So you telling me that if I'm trying to quit watching the HUD, brother, I should stop talking to you?
No, I mean I'm motivated myself, but I'm just saying.
Brother.
I got in the way a little bit because you know what I'm saying, being hanging around my wife, and I tell her this all. I tell my wife, mom, this. I'm like, look, she is lazy. She's lazy because she's lived a great life. You provided her with a very good life. I'm giving her a great life. She picked out the house. Well, I asked her, like, look, what other woman you know can go pick out a house they want, a man and buy it, pick out the appliances he want, he buys it, and she still complains. She still ain't happy.
Hey, well, come on, Pops. You just named 60 to 70% of women.
Her mother's giving her a great life. Even when she was a kid, they travel overseas all through her use of 20s, 30s. Her mother's giving her a great life. I'm giving her a great life. And she is lazy. She is not. And I went and bought her these plants. Even her mother came over today. So I went and bought her. I bought her.
Wait, all positive. Ain't she aware of my show? You sure you want to divulge this?
She's asleep now. She
okay. I put it on private afterwards, bro. We don't need nobody getting caught up now.
She pregnancy time. I tell all this stuff too. But I care about it a lot. But I'm just saying, I went and bought all these plants, these expensive plants at Lowe's. She's like, I want these plants to put in front of the house. I bought these expensive plants. And she can't even walk outside and water these plants every day. These expensive plants. I'm like, all you got to do is walk out there. I'm like,
that's hilarious.
It's 85 degrees out here, and these plants is hurting. You can't water these plants every 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, look,
I'm positive. That's women though, bro. I'm positive. So my house had shifted, right? My house shifted, and like the power box was hanging off the like house.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, oh, I gotta get this fixed. So I was gonna call somebody to come do it, and you know, my wife was like, nah, don't do that. You know, just go drill it yourself. And I'm just thinking, like, have you lost your damn mind? I'm not gonna go mess with no damn electricity for what?
Yeah,
like to save $200 that I'm gonna be paying for anyway.
I ain't doing that, man. No, man, no, I'm not doing.
So yeah, I called the electricity dude. He came, you know, he drilled it. When I told him about what she said, he just looked at her and busted out laughing. He was like, "Nah, he probably would have got electrocuted messing with this box." Like, yeah, thank God you called somebody. I'm just like, dang, that's so crazy. It's stuff like that. Like, you know, women gonna be women, bro. No matter where you go.
I ordered a box of MREs. I got 2 boxes of MREs, and that's what I don't have to eat MREs, like I said, but I do that because when I go out exercise, I got my rucksack. When I go on my personal ruck marches for 8-9 miles, I just stop and eat an MRE meal or whatever. Or I'm just sitting around in the house one day. I just might crack up MRE, and I tell my wife that, like, look, man, sometimes I get too comfortable. I want to be uncomfortable. I don't even sleep on beds that much. I sleep on beds maybe once a week. Other than that, I'm sleeping on the floor. I don't have to, but I'm doing that.
Like Lionheart. Remember Lionheart did that?
No, I haven't seen the movie Lionheart.
You have all positive. Come on,
talking about the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you seen that he was in prison? Yeah. I thought.
I was going to say all positive. That is a classic.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Yeah, because he fought the dude with the sideburns at the end.
Because remember that lady liked him. The lady that wanted him to fight liked him. She had a crush on him, and he told her, "I can't live like this."
Yeah,
and she
man.
was like what? I gotta live like a fighter. I gotta be poor. You gotta create that. You gotta create that poorness and that hunger. Because if you live a comfortable life, bro, that's what is that rich man's disease? That's like you get gout. You know what I mean? Eat meat every day, eat nice every day. You gotta create that hunger and create some goals. Sometimes goals create that hunger.
Yeah, man. When I go to the when I do my ruck marches, I'm marching and I can't do the combat boots no more. They hurt me, man. But I march in heavy boots though. I found some Adidas Terex when I go. I got a heavy rucksack on my back. I got an MRE, and one thing about it, what I don't do, I don't walk around my neighborhood. Yeah, tell me why I don't walk around my neighborhood on a hot day?
Dangerous?
Nope. My neighborhood is great. It's not dangerous at all. But if I get too tired, I get too hot, I can just come home. I make sure I walk out 4 or 5 miles. So if I get tired, I still got to come back. You know what I'm saying?
Man, all positive. It was this documentary that I reacted to. I think this during the time where you know what I mean, you was getting your surgery or whatever. But me and like that reacted to it. That documentary is so fire. It was talking about biology and all the same stuff that we talking about now. Basically, in nature, our bodies were not meant to live as nice as we live in, like climate control conditions. You know what I mean? ACs and cars that drive. Like all of that is just creating a society that's just ultra fat people that are dying of heart disease,
laziness.
And lazy, you know. But listen. I do have a theory on laziness, right? So we're given a finite amount of energy at a time, right? And I think because we know that we have an expiration date and we only have a certain amount of energy, when given the option to do something difficult, our brain is going to try to get us to do something easy, so that we can conserve our energy. That's just my theory on it. But complacency is the number one killer of goals and the number one killer of human beings, in my opinion. Dreams all drive all that. You get in a situation where you're complacent and you don't have the same goals or desire anymore. You're gonna be just like the lion at the zoo. That's why I brought that up. You're gonna be like the lion at the zoo where they bring you your meal. You know what I mean? You're no longer a lion. You're just a show, a spectacle for the people to see when they first visit the zoo. And you'll spend the rest of your days in captivity and never experience what it's like to beat up another lion, you know what I mean, and take his pride and rule over and mate with all the females. So, you know, it is what it is.
And what I'm about to say, man. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, just like we was talking about. I forgot the females. One of the females up on the show we was talking about this before, but I like technology and thing makes us lazy and makes us not use our brain. So it makes us dumber than what we were before. Like back in the day, you had no phone numbers. We didn't have cell phones, but the numbers already in them. Like right now, I probably know 3 cell phone numbers. No, my mom, my aunt, my wife's cell phone. I don't know any other cell phone numbers other than my own, like those 4. That's it. But everything else.
Man, after COVID hit, it's hard for me to remember numbers.
Yeah, I don't remember no cell phone numbers, man. Like
sometimes I'll be like, forget mine, like, oh no, 5, 6. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, dang.
And we don't know them because we don't have to remember them. But if you ever have to go back to having to remember these numbers, we'll get back proficient at it. But yeah, we're a product of our environment.
Not only that, but we'll never get back to that positive. I think we too steep. I think we too. It's too like you said. It's too easy. Like, would anybody want to go back? People reminisce about the old days, but who was willing to go back? You know what? All positive. I got to get with you and find out your schedule, because what I want to do is I want to coordinate with you, and I want to do a whole episode about this.
Yeah.
About technology. I want to, and more deeper than that. I'll put it in a private chat. I want nobody stealing my ideas.
Yeah.
Let me put it in the private chat right now.
Yeah, but definitely, like people talk about the technology with the movies. They was like, man, I miss video stores. I miss going to the video store. Like, look, man, I love video store just as much as the next man. I used to go there twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. But I do not miss going to the video store, picking up a box of a movie I've never heard before because the box looked good, renting it, then coming home and getting screwed over because the movie is trash. I don't miss that. Now, if I go to Netflix or Tubi or whatever, or any other 15 apps that I got streaming, and I pull up something and I don't like it in the first 10, 15 minutes, I'm done with it.
Wait. Hold on. Taraji P. Henson has a movie out, and they call it like Straw. Everybody said it was good. You seen it already?
I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty good because they got, he got Sinbad in it. He just had a stroke, but yeah, Tyler Perry's he makes some pretty decent movies.
Oh, it's a Tyler Perry movie. I'm out. You remember Shark Tank for that reason? I'm out.
Nah, look, I like I said, I've given Tyler Perry a lot of flack over the years for his movies, some of his movies, but I think Tyler Perry is a good dude. So I'm never gonna, even though I don't like his movies, but I'll never diss him because he's done a lot for the black community, a lot for other people. So he's gonna always get my respect for that. Even though I think a lot of his movies are crappy, but I'll never publicly bash him. But this looks like it's pretty. I seen the trailer, look like it's pretty good though. I mean, Tyler Perry does make some decent movies though. The non-Madea movies, I thought those were pretty good.
Man, Madea gonna show up in the last scene and save everybody. Tyler Perry gonna show up in the last scene in a dress and save everybody. Yo, when the Boondocks did that episode on Madea, that was hilarious.
Yeah, but how do you know for sure they was talking about Tyler Perry and Madea?
Man, if you don't stop, because he wanted them to take the episode down. That's how I know they was talking about him.
Hey, look, they could have been talking about anybody that does plays and wears dresses and how
he wanted them to take it down. They talked like Madea in that episode. They was like, I tell you, I pull my gun out right now.
I see the episode. I know they were talking about just like the BET episode. I knew what they was talking about.
He knew. That's why he wanted them to take it down. But all positive. Yeah. Do you see the private chat? I want to do an episode on that. So I don't know. So I want to do that tomorrow. What's today?
It's funny you bring that up. That is actually real because not in the sense of that with that, but you can get, devices and,
That's the point. That's the point that I was making because I had a previous. So this is what we're gonna do. All positive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode, and the next episode we'll talk about that, which will probably be later on today. If not early, then we'll do the late one.
You know what I mean? The big fight card, well, the semi-big tonight.
You talking about the cruiserweight? You talking about Obertime?
Abdullah Mason's he's headlining now.
Man, that ain't no big card. What's gonna happen? Let do a spoiler alert. What's gonna happen in that movie?
He's gonna knock him out.
And you know what? Even if he gets knocked down, he's still gonna win the fight. That's the level of opposition that he's fighting right now. That he can get hurt and get knocked down, like he got knocked down in one of his fights. Still get up and handle business with those guys because that's the level that they're on. So, yeah, I'm not sold on this card. We all were showing up to see Keyshawn, and because Keyshawn blew it, he blew this weekend for a lot of boxing fans. And that's
a lot of people pay flights, pay for hotels, pay those expensive private tickets to come down here to Virginia just to see him fight.
That's true.
And now they can't get their money back.
And that's why I say he's like AB. I bet he don't issue an apology.
He won't.
I bet he don't issue an apology. Listen, whenever the athletic commission suspended him, he basically showed up and said, "I'm gonna buy a house. I don't give a F about y'all." I would be extremely surprised if he apologized to his fans. That should be that's the human thing to do. Apologize to your fans. Come on, bro. You were supposed to show up and show out in your city. That they had this for you. This was your event, and you're not even gonna be at your own event. That's equivalent of me throwing a block party in my hometown and then not showing up to the block party. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. Like, yeah, he definitely owes his fans an apology. Let me check his Twitter. I would guarantee he ain't said nothing. I guarantee he ain't said one thing. So yeah, that's gonna be the next one. I'll probably. That's a good topic. There's some interesting things I wanted to talk about. But I think in that I'm gonna do the movie review too as well.
What movie?
The Tyler Perry movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let me see if he said anything. I doubt it. Here we go. He might apologize. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Nope. Could you hear me?
I hear you now.
I've been talking this whole time. That's crazy.
Anything.
I've been reading his post. So no, he definitely ain't said nothing. But this is what he did issue a statement of. His quote, one of his quotes said, "If not, he will." It said, "Your son knows his dad is the greatest boxer alive." He said, "If not, he will know in the future." And this is what he put. He said, the youngest and less fights to sell out an arena." He said, "I'm starting to see why they hate me." It was like, bro, you're not even gonna be on the card. But he put a picture up of Shakur, Tank, Raymond, and himself, and he said the youngest to do it with 13 fights because they had 23 and 30 fights whenever they sold out an arena. I guess no, it's not when they sold out an arena. It's the current record. Tripping. Yeah, it definitely is time.
John didn't miss waiting and talking about somebody's hating.
So this is his last tweet. So I'm guessing that he put this, in hopes that the fight was gonna go through, and it didn't go through. So, but yeah, it's like the youngest to sell out an arena. Who cares if you sell out the arena if you're not gonna be there, my guy? Shakur, my guy. So yeah, I wonder. But listen, Shakur and Keyshawn has kind of had a strained relationship. They used to be really close. Talk about how they was brothers and they wasn't gonna fight. It was just like, are we gonna finally get that Shakur smoke?
Man, I hope so. Look, all these guys need to fight, man. Stop all this brotherhood stuff, man. You can't have a weight class full of friends. You know what I'm saying? That's not making sense. That weight class full of guys talking we brothers. Well, if you feel that way, then move up. Fight somebody else.
I've been saying that for a long time, bro. I had a whole conversation with one of my friends about this. Well, any conversation, an argument, and we was talking about that. And he was like, man, Shakur and him is like brothers. Like, bro, Klitschko and the Klitschko's his brothers. Yeah, they didn't fight each other.
I can understand why they didn't.
Exactly. They were real brothers. But, bro, no, we don't want to hear this brother stuff, bro. Fight. It's what you got in the business for. You know what I mean? Like Tyson said, if you really my brother, give me a payday. Give him a payday.
Didn't Rocky Marciano fight his brother?
Yeah. Allegedly, his brother used a different alias and fought Rocky and got knocked out. That's hilarious. Probably took a dive though, but yeah, that's the story. That's the story. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this all positive because I got plans. I'll probably end this, take a nap, wake up, work out. You know what I mean? And then that live, I'll make sure it's made so that that you'll be free and the old lady will be sleeping. Then we can go ahead and talk about what we got to talk about because that was gonna be a good one. I already know.
Yeah, I'm about to get on Reddit, man.
Whoa, brother! Don't do it, brother. Fight that temptation, brother. Don't be that line in the
zoo. I'm just seeing what they got up there new. That's all, man.
But I was gonna say, oh man, what was I finna tell you? Positive. Yeah, it's getting late, man. I forgot. Hey, what's I finna say? Oh, It wasn't important if I forgot. But yeah, man, that's what I'll probably do. We're gonna do a late night, early morning live. 'Cause that's when I get more of my traction anyway. And yeah, man, we'll pick up. I don't, how you feel about? I don't even want to do the fight card no more. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to do. I don't think it's worth it. Like I was telling somebody the other day, like the boxing lives, I'm only doing big main events from now on. I'm not doing boxing, pro box. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be.
Man.
It's not worth my time. Like I'm doing those boxing lives, and then the lives don't even pick up until I do the non-boxing talk, and then I'm doing the lives, and then the people who mess with the boxing, they're not even really showing up in droves. So it's just like, why would I waste my time? Now, when I did Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach, that was a big live. Everybody showed up, so I'm gonna just do big events from now. It's like it's pointless to do the other ones, like the Abdullah Mason. The only way I would regret not doing that live is if Abdullah Mason got knocked out.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I would not want to miss an upset to that magnitude. But other than that, bro, man, Abdullah Mason's gonna smoke this guy, bro. The one fight that was good percentage wise, even though it leaned towards Keyshawn, was the fight with De Los Santos, and we're not getting that fight anymore. So, bro, even when they had the brothers fight on the card, when they did Keyshawn and his brothers in the hometown, the other fights sucked.
They did badly, and those tickets.
The only good fight was Keyshawn.
And I'll tell you about those tickets was high, man. For a guy of Keyshawn's caliber, those tickets should not have been that high in Virginia.
So that's what I'm saying. Those fights suck, and the only good fight was Keyshawn. So why would I make the same mistake and tune into Abdullah Mason, hoping that that fight is going to be any different than what I already know is going to be? So yeah, I probably won't. I'm gonna be honest. I probably won't cover the fight. It is what it is. You know, I don't want to see Abdullah Mason run a train versus a pillow. If I want to watch a murder, I'll watch True Crimes or Snaps. Yeah. You know, at least they got better storyline. I don't want to watch Abdullah Mason get in the ring and just dominate his. I don't even know who he's fighting.
I don't even. That's the thing about it. I just placed a bet. Like, I saw the odds, and first of all, it's Abdullah Mason, so you know what's going to happen.
Agreed. So yeah, I probably won't be covering it. We'll be doing non-boxing tomorrow, so I don't want boxing fans to tune in and be mad. So we're gonna do some dope stuff tomorrow, but it won't be boxing. You know what I mean? Those of y'all who are watching boxing, you know what I mean, enjoy the other channels, pretending like this is an exciting event. Enjoy. But I can't. I'm one of those people that what Malcolm X said, I won't scratch my head unless it itches, and I won't dance unless I hear music. I'm not fit or fake, like I'm enthusiastic about an event that I'm not. Now, if they pay me, I'll do it. Now, listen, if Turkey called me after I got off this live and said, Scholar, we need you to be excited about it.
Now, that'll be Bob Arum.
Oh, Bob, you're right. But Bob Arum said Ryder season is basically running boxing right now. See, he said all the boxing promoters are under Ryder season. So it's kind of like Ryder season is the big parent company at this point. So if Bob Arum or any one of the big wigs called me after, like, look, we're gonna cut you a check. You know, we need you to be excited about this fight, bro. I come back tomorrow act like Abdullah Mason is Muhammad Ali. I will sell that fight. I'll be like, look, I don't know, because I did see him get pieced up in sparring, but other than that happening, that wild scenario, I'm not finna fake it and act like this is an exciting fight because it's not. It's going to be exciting because of the knockout, but I'm not going to act like it's a competitive fight. Let me change the verbiage. I'm not going to act like it's a competitive fight. It's going to be an exciting fight. Like one of the fights, Abdullah Mason was fighting one of these low level guys, and he got knocked down. And when he got knocked down, people was excited. Oh my God, yeah, knocked down by the same punch too, I think. And they was excited about it. But then he ended up finishing the guy. So it's like, okay, so the guy is good enough to put him down, but not good enough to put him away. Top rank is in the business of they've been doing this for years. I doubt it. I doubt he gets finished. You know, he's gonna make the same mistakes. He might even get put down, depending on I don't know the dude he's fighting. He might even get put down, but he's gonna win the fight, bro. Like it's gonna be. If he loses, listen, if he loses, I'm gonna do a live that day and tell everybody that the boxing scholar finally was wrong, and I feel bad about being wrong because I should have covered the fight. I might write Keyshawn and apologize to him just for me missing the event that he missed. And missing the event because he missed the event. I might apologize to Keyshawn and Keyshawn fans for missing that, but no, that's not gonna happen. We got a better chance of an asteroid coming out the sky and hitting Abdullah Mason in the head.
Yeah.
Listen, an asteroid could come out the sky and hit Abdullah Mason in the head. He'll still win. Or at least get a draw positive. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on this card. So yeah, I probably won't be covering it. We'll be doing non-boxing. I get more from non-boxing commentary anyway. So we'll do it. I was gonna do Trump Elon because that is in the headlines. And I really want to do that.
And who you siding with in that? Trump or Elon?
Elon, of course. He's African American.
And look, but for real though, honestly,
Elon, I don't like Trump.
We know we don't like Trump. We don't like Elon. But what I read, I'm gonna have to side with Trump on why Elon is acting this way. Now, this is what I said when I first heard it. I was like, well, Trump probably promised him something and he didn't give it to him. That's why he's spilling the beans. But what I read that what he promised him, well, not he promised, what I read he didn't do for him. I like it makes perfect. I mean, every American should be on Trump's side for that. Now, I don't know how true this is, but I did read that Trump said that not Trump didn't say, but I read that I think Trump did say it, but I read that Elon Musk wanted a electric vehicle mandate, like in the future that all Americans got to get.
So to add context to that, they already have electrical vehicle mandates.
Wait,
hold on. Hear me out. You remember when Barack Obama was there and he was talking about moving towards cleaner energy and solar energy and wind power? That if you get solar panels on your house, they already have where the government will reimburse you for trying to use. They already have provisions for alternative to gas and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they already have it. But what he's saying is in the new bill that Donald Trump introduced, that it did. Donald Trump saying that I didn't put that in there. And that's why Elon's mad. But I don't think that's why Elon is mad at all. He already got the government for every contract. Like he's so deep rooted in the government that he was able to threaten them. And there's nothing they can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said that he can pull. Right now, he don't have to send his space the spaceship. He's gonna pull his spaceships, leave people in space. Like he already said this because he's so deep rooted into the contracts that the government had. Because that was the game plan all along.
Did you say leave people in space?
I think he said that. Don't quote me on that. I don't have the material in front of me, and I didn't prepare to do that episode today. But I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen where he got the Kendrick Lamar clothes on. I like that. It's definitely going to heat up, but like I said, I'm not siding with either guy on this. Like I said, I hope both of them crash out. You know what I'm saying? It's been
ain't nothing with a little white on white crime.
Yeah, I love it. I love that white on white crime.
Yeah, that was interesting though, that they actually got into it. But I'm gonna be honest with you on positive. Honestly, I don't want neither one to win. I want it to be a stalemate of them just slandering each other, throwing and revealing stuff that we didn't know. Elon said Trump would have never won the election with him. Where are my conspiracy theories that think that Joe Biden stole the election? Like, did he just insinuate that they stole the election and that Trump wouldn't have won without him?
Exactly what he insinuated.
So where are the conspiracy theories at?
And the thing, the funny thing about this, as much as he's slandering Trump, Trump's taking it easy on him, playing cool, the level head.
He got to.
Yeah, he's a level-headed guy in this.
He got to.
Yeah,
you know why he got to? You know why he has to? I'm positive. Because Trump posted that Trump was always right whenever California was on fire, bro. He tweeted that, and because Trump has this Trump derangement syndrome that everybody tries to say that regular people have, and him and his MAGA people and supporters have it. But because he has that, you know, he can never admit when he made a mistake. And if he says that Elon Musk is anything other than great, then he'll contradict all the stuff that he's been telling us for the last couple months while he's been firing American employees. Because he's been telling us Elon's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He even allowed him to have access to people's social security numbers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much. He's so deep rooted. He has to double down and just say Elon is acting like a baby, and Elon's like, he has to stay focused, because if he engages with Elon and start talking about how incompetent Elon is, it's a wrap. And then it's so funny to me that, like, Donald Trump has really been in the need of Elon, in my personal opinion, because you look at anybody else that left Donald Trump's cabinet, they all left and Donald Trump slammed the door on them and hit him with "you're fired," like on The Apprentice. With Elon Musk, he was so humble. It's because Elon Musk has more money than Donald Trump.
And not only that, I think, like you said, he has something on him.
The man said he was on the Epstein list.
Yeah, got something on him, man. So that's how people react when you get something on them. Like when they're mostly rambunctious and rah attitude. When you get something on them, that's how they act.
So you saying that Elon got something that's he got one of them like Not Like Us songs?
He got a lot of he got a lot of information like a Not Like Us song. I definitely believe that for sure.
And it's so crazy that, you know, bro, Elon did an interview from the White House with a black eye.
Yeah.
I was just like, did Trump and his cronies beat him up in the back?
I was wondering what was that about, man. And
then he said his son gave him the black eye because he told him to punch him. Like, who tells their 4-year-old son to punch him in the face? Like, Elon, you're lying, bro. Donald Trump took you in the back and roughed you up and made you make a public statement and gave you a gold key, and you were complicit with it until you got away at a safe distance, and then you started talking about his big, beautiful spending bill, and then you started beefing with him.
You saying Trump put them paws on him? What you saying?
I think the Secret Service put the paws on him.
And Trump was supervising the paw putting.
Yeah, I think Trump came in like the mafia. He was like, "Get them, boys," and they just start beating them up, knocking over his Tesla robots. Because you know them robots, that they get on their back, they can't move. They were just kicking their little legs up in there, and then they just started beating up on Elon, bro. And then they burned his Tesla. And then Cash Patel came in and was like, "Elon," he whispered in his ear, "I'm the one that was burning your Teslas all along." Then he kicked him in the stomach. Yeah, I already know how this went, bro.
Yeah, man, there's definitely something going on.
He said, "I just stumbled in here, y'all speak the facts." Yeah, it's that's a weird interaction between the two. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I love it, man. I just love it because I hate when we the entertainment. I hate that Drake and Kendrick was the entertainment for the world to watch, and they ended up, with some pedo stuff and then all this stuff, and it was a rap battle, and that was the talk of black people. I love this, that the news media has jumped on this, you know what I mean, and sunk their teeth into it, and that you got two guys with two egos, and neither one of them is gonna give. Neither one is gonna give. We already know this. They're not gonna make up. They're rich. Why would they make up? Who do they ever make up with or want atonement with? Nobody. Elon Musk goes to massage parlors naked and whips his meat out. You think that guy is gonna apologize to Donald Trump? No, I don't see it happening. I'll be shocked if he does. If he does, just know that Donald Trump pulled up and beat him up. You are positive. Before we get up out of here, I gotta get your opinion about it. Can you see the screen?
Yep, I sure can.
I thought this was fake, bro.
That's real?
Yes. Ain't Wayne Brady married?
I don't know. I know he had a girlfriend, but what the?
I thought he was married. We know Wayne. I don't know if you know. Wayne Brady's been on a deal for years. I remember he kissed a man on TV.
I ain't
He
seen
kissed
it.
the man on TV. I think it was a Let's Make a Deal or something. Maybe it was a skit, something.
He used to host Let's Make a Deal, and what was the name of the other show he was on? Like where he used to do skits and stuff. What's the name of it? What line is it? Something like that. What's my line? Something like that. But
I didn't watch that. I did watch Let's Make a Deal.
I never watched it either, but there used to be some bad chicks on Let's Make a Deal when they be at in their costumes. That's why I used to watch.
He said, "What y'all smoking here?" I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, Wayne Brady. Well, I suspected this for years. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't remember where it was, but he kissed a man live on air, so I knew. But I just always thought he was married. Maybe I got him mixed up. Maybe it's the Mandela effect.
He did. He did have a girlfriend because he had an Asian girlfriend. Then he had a
I thought he was. Let me look it up. I thought he was married to her. Let me look it up.
Definitely.
It's Wayne.
Yeah, he had the women. So I just this is new.
It's always. Yeah, he's married.
Oh my God. Oh, we know they got.
Okay, they got divorced.
But still, when his wife used to say,
says Brady has married twice. He married Diana on December 31st, 1993, and then they divorced September 1995, and then on April 1999, he married dancer Mandy Takika.
So when they're in the house and he tell his wife, I'm about to tell his wife to get the strap. He ain't talking about a gun.
Oh, brother, whoa, brother, whoa. We must stay focused, brothers and sisters. We must stay focused. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this should be more accepted. I feel like this should be more accepted. Yeah, listen. This is another episode I wanted to do. I wanted to collab with another YouTuber. I still ain't asked her because she'd be busy a lot. But I wanted to collab with her and actually do a simulcast. And I'm gonna ask her next live she does. But I wanted to talk about HIV and Black community and how the women shunned gay people at first, but then they embraced them because they started getting HIV at a higher rate than everybody else because of them down low men. So the idea behind it was, if we make this acceptable behavior, people won't be living double lives, and I won't get HIV. And I feel like if Wayne Brady was able to come out and do this a long time ago, he wouldn't have married those other two women. Who knows if who knows what they got? Just keep. We giving real talk over here. That's what I do. So people need to live their truths, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He said, "Brothers in dresses," shaking my head. Listen. I don't know about you or positive, but the older I get, the less I care about stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about it, but I think people should be allowed to do what they want to do. But I'm just shocked that Wayne Brady. I'm looking at Wayne Brady in a dress. That's why I'm just shocked. And that's dress and makeup too, man.
Wig. This man definitely had a lot of practice. He definitely simulated this a lot in his head. That's why he put, I quote, "I love doing drag." Wayne Brady. Love? Golly. Love is what you're supposed to use to describe your kids. I guess Tyler Perry loved doing it too, but that's another story. That's another story for another day. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I said, man, kiss another man live on air. Well, let me ask you this. All positive. Do you believe that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files?
Of course, 100%.
You think that's why they ain't came out?
I don't believe it. I know he in them.
Well, yeah, that's fact. He definitely was on the log. There's no doubt about that. He definitely was on the log. But what I'm trying to say though is, do you think he has some incriminating stuff, like he was actually participating?
Oh, man, why would he be there if he wasn't?
Hold up, all positive. You never been at a party where they was smoking and you ain't smoked?
Yeah, of course. I've been at the party, but you know what I'm saying? But I ain't never been to no party involving no underage people. I ain't never done that.
Interesting. I'm gonna just say this: I'm rooting for neither side. This is the first time where I want both sides to lose. Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I hope they cancel each other out. I hope that they reveal a bunch of stuff. They throw so much tomato that at the end they both are completely drenched in red, and there's no place to hide. I hope Elon Musk, because he's on a cocktail of drug, reveal that he actually rigged the election for Donald Trump, and that's an impeachable offense, and that ends up getting Donald Trump out. And then the person that comes in signs executive orders to get rid of Elon Musk in government, so that he don't have all the contracts. That's ideally what happens.
I think they're gonna patch it up. I think some big wig Republican in the cabinet gonna bring them together. Like, look, man, we can all lose if y'all beefing, and then they're gonna just agree to be mutual.
He said he literally worked with the judge in 2009 to get up seen convicted. He also kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, so I don't see it. Said haters gonna hate. I guess he's talking. I don't know. I guess he's referring to me saying that I want them to both cancel each other. Yeah, I mean, that ain't no hate. That's just me not really caring for neither one of them. Did you see that he said, is it an antichrist or a dictatorship? Said Elon Musk can send a rocket up for 15 million. It takes NASA almost 1 billion to do the same. He said it would be stupid and wasteful to cancel his contracts. So let me get this straight. Elon Musk, according to Donald Trump, wanted to put one of his Doge guys, the head of NASA. Elon Musk is working with NASA because NASA is more efficient at sending people to space, and they've been doing it longer. Right? They have a better track record. Their rockets don't explode as much as Elon Musk. You know, so what you're saying is, if somebody gets to office, they shouldn't be concerned with Elon Musk, who has American Social Security numbers thanks to Donald Trump, has fired American citizens at Twitter, and then now at the federal level. And then he's so steeped into the contracts of the government that he makes a lot of money and literally can hold the government hostage, which is what he's threatening to do right now with Trump. And you don't have a problem with that. Your response to that is haters gonna hate. Yeah. Okay. It should worry you that a billionaire, 2 billionaires wanted to race to get to space. They literally had a penis measuring contest of who was going to get to space first, and they were only competing with each other because they were both the richest guys at the time in America, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. That doesn't worry you. That billionaires won't go to space. They already run America, and America runs the globe, right? And they want to be the first to space. Elon Musk wants to be on Mars before anybody. That doesn't worry you? Interesting. He said 250 million per flight versus 65 million per flight. NASA is a waste. Dump is on the Epstein list. NASA's a waste. That is absolutely crazy, bro. So anyway, listen, the spending that y'all are talking about sending spaceships up, Elon Musk is spending his own money. The government is spending our money, right? And when we're talking about proportionality, the money that they're spending is not anything compared to what we spend on other stuff, right? Whenever Russia there was the Cold War, race to arms and all that stuff, preparing for a war that never came to be. When they wanted to announce they was going to space, we beat them to space. There's been a lot of technical advances based on that, right? And NASA, right? Why would you what are y'all calling for? Are y'all calling for the private business to be to be on the forefront in space? Because private businesses are going to be loyal to themselves, not to the American people. NASA is a government entity. It's for the people. It answers to the people. The budget is for and by the people. Why would you want a private exploration into space? That makes absolutely no sense. So if Elon Musk makes it to Mars first, let's say he terraforms Mars because he works with NASA and NASA's more efficient, and he gets all the secrets from NASA, whatever the case may be, and then he gets to Mars first, and he starts to do whatever he wants on Mars, right? And America says, "Hey, Elon, stop doing that." And he says, "No." What is the consequences? Shoot a rocket to space? It's not going to do anything. Nuclear weapons are useless. Shooting them into space. What do you do? Just people don't I just be feeling like people don't have no foresight whatsoever. It said Elon Musk's brain chip is a mark of the beast because it connects the brain to artificial intelligence so it can control the person who has the brain chip. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Elon Musk just be brainstorming sometime. I don't even think they have a chip. I think he's just out there talking. Like when he guaranteed that we was gonna be on Mars and we ain't there yet. I think Elon Musk does a lot of talking, and I don't think that that's the mark of the beast. Bello, let me tell you something. We're talking about the Bible being written before they even understood what an atom was, right? What diarrhea was killing people. The diarrhea was a death sentence. Do you think that in that Bible they put the mark of the beast being a computer chip? That is absolutely insane, bro. You gotta stop this, bro. You gotta stop. But yes, Elon Musk is definitely something to a threat to America and threat to national security now because he has our social security number. You remember, and this is why I say this is where Donald Trump looked like a fool. How positive, because he guaranteed us that this was a necessary thing that he needed in order to do his job efficiently, right? And then now it turns out that the guy that you said was smart, that was sent to do a job, you know what I mean, with a time limit that you gave him. That guy has our social security numbers, and he's out there saying you're on the Epstein list. So Trump has no choice but to respond the way he responded. In my personal opinion, I don't think he can respond any way else.
I don't think Trump likes to wallow in the mud with the pigs,
You didn't just say that. Trump is the mud. Trump looks like a pig.
I was pulling a Jay Prince.
Oh, yeah, Trump is the mud.
Yeah, I know
Trump is the mud.
That's what I just said. I said anybody else, Trump will be on Twitter going crazy, but he's humble in this. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. He be the first thing he do is call them losers. That's the first thing he does. He basically said that. Listen, Mike Pence, they broke into the Capitol, right? I broke into the building on Capitol Hill and was screaming, "Hang Mike Pence!" Right? Donald Trump said that Mike Pence wasn't loyal and he deserved that. He also said the people that he fired in the past were losers, right? But with Elon Musk, he is humble. And it's because Elon Musk has so much money that he can crush Donald Trump, especially the money that he's made. Like the investment that he made into Donald Trump and what he got out was like a lot of money. Donald Trump has no choice but to be humble in this. I seen a video where Donald Trump's what is it called? Is it bibliographer, the one that writes the autobiography?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
That person said that Donald Trump was racist and didn't like people, and I was like, you don't say. I was like, wait till Deuce pull up. I cannot wait to play this for Deuce times. You already know you're gonna say propaganda.
no, man.
You already know you're gonna say propaganda, but I can't wait. I can't wait to play that for Deuce. You know how old people say your hands itching when money coming? My hands are itching right now to play that for Deuce.
Yeah, I think he messed up though, man. I think Trump might be in a little trouble.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you was on the episode where I said this will happen. I said Elon Musk and Donald Trump is not gonna last. The egos are too big. They were pretending like they liked each other. Normally, when business people pretend like they like each other, there's always a fallout, but it's just never public because they've already served their purpose. They make a little money together and then they go their separate ways. You know.
I've been reading stuff now. I don't believe everything I read because a lot of this stuff is really even the sites that are we know are real sites. They put a lot of information up there as false. But I read somewhere that the Trump administration was threatening to deport Elon Musk.
Nah, I did hear that too. I heard that too.
I was like, that is wild, yo.
That's hilarious. Because technically they could, because he's here on a work visa, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Joe Biden threatened to do the same. I want to say that. I want to say Joe Biden threatened to do the same whenever he was campaigning with Donald Trump, unless that was a rumor too as well, because that it could have been, but I heard it, and I think that would be hilarious though. This person said, and although I don't have any tattoos on my skin because it looks like a person would easily accept the mark of a beast. What is the mark of the beast? Exactly. Because 1 minute people say it's computer chips. There was 1 minute where people were saying Barack Obama was the Antichrist. Remember that?
Man, it's always, I remember that. It's always somebody that it was another thing. They was talking about the mark of the beast. When it was computers back in the early 2000s, that computers were the devil, the mark of the beast, baby. I'm like, yo, it's always something, man.
You know,
you don't look at the shot, do you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm looking at the shot.
Okay, go ahead.
My wife watches this. I've seen it a couple times, but nothing crazy.
Yeah,
what happened?
I was talking about the mark of the beast. I was about to talk about the church scene there and the preachers up there on the shot. How they manipulating the community, the preachers are there, the prosperity preaching, because the assistant pastor on the shot now, the big church is Dre from Power. You remember Dre from Power?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the assistant pastor up there, and he's sleeping with like a lot of the women in the church. It's crazy, man. He's going to that house. Pray for him, yeah.
You know, I just thought about when he said Elon Musk is South African on a green card, so they could deport him. Then Donald Trump offered the golden Trump card or whatever it is, where illegal immigrants could spend $5 million and become a citizen. All he would do is just buy the card when they deport him. And then he still has American government contracts. Like shipping Elon Musk out of America wouldn't make him less powerful. I'm just being honest with you.
$5 million to Elon Musk is like $5 to me.
Exactly. Yeah, he would just buy his way back in through Donald Trump's policy on citizens buying their way, rich citizens buying their way to become American citizens. He would just throw him out the house. You know what I mean? He just come through the back door. He said, I miss Barack Obama. Homeboy took a few minutes before saying, I paused because I need to think before I speak.
You should take pauses in during your speeches. And to gather your thoughts and make sure you can articulate it, because you don't want to speak too fast. You might say something you'll regret.
The crazy thing is they normally will prep politicians on what to say, what not to say, and they practice and rehearse what they're gonna say. Donald Trump just goes out there and freestyles. You know, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Man, I never forget the funniest thing I ever heard him say when they was talking about Puerto Rico and they was talking about giving aid to Puerto Rico. Donald Trump went to a press conference and lied on national TV. He said, well, I talked to the president of Puerto Rico. You're like, dude, I'm like, yo.
You're the president of Puerto Rico.
How does he not know he's the president of Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Oh, that had to be the funniest thing I ever heard a president say. I could not believe he got away with that.
Really?
I couldn't believe it, man. I could not believe every news station.
That's shocking to you?
Every news station should have been running that nonstop.
What would it do?
It'll ridicule him because he don't even know he's the president. He doesn't even know the Puerto Rico is a part of the United States.
I'm positive. Right now, as we speak, there are Republicans who voted for the bill, and their constituents is mad at them for voting for the bill, right? Because it cuts Medicare and Medicaid, and their base is on it at a high rate. I mean, we told them that, right? They wouldn't listen. Anyway, they were mad at the Republicans for voting for the bill, and one of the Republicans was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I'm not in favor of this. I just didn't read the bill." And you're like, bro, what? He said, no, Obama. Yeah, you crazy, bro. If Obama ran right now for president, he will win. Easy. Somebody said, shouldn't that be Trump's head on Kendrick's body? No, bro. Trump was the one at Epstein parties.
Yeah.
No, that's the right head. But you know another reason how you knew it wasn't gonna last, or positive, or how I knew Elon Musk has problems with his dad. He has daddy issues. And his dad said openly that he's not proud of Elon Musk. He criticizes him and everything, all right? They have an estranged relationship. Elon Musk said he's abusive, blah, 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 right?
You said Trump like his dad?
Trump definitely is like, reminds him a lot of his dad. So he's going to naturally rebel against Trump because he reminds him of the person he rebels to in his everyday life. You know what I mean?
That makes
sense. He said, yep. Marjorie Taylor Greene said she didn't read the bill too. That's another one. Yep. Marjorie said she didn't read the bill, the bill either. And that's just crazy to me. It's like, bro, that's y'all's job. That's y'all's job, man. Y'all get paid millions of dollars through what do you call it? Insider trading tips that y'all invest in the stock markets. Marjorie Greene Taylor is definitely one of those people that got rich during this Trump uncertainty on the market through insider trading, and she didn't even take enough time to read the bill, bro. That's insane, bro. I can't believe stuff like that. I can't believe listen, I was having a conversation all positive, and you know how you feel like Democrats are the same. I was basically saying that after this administration, I don't know how anybody can say that anymore, because Democrats are bought and paid for, but they at least will give you policies that will at least help you. They at least understand the middle class is the engine of the economy, and they would try to pass certain stuff. You know what I mean? Like Obamacare or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Trump has signed executive orders and given a whole bunch of money to the rich. He even said that if this tax plan doesn't go into effect, because when Elon Musk criticized it, that if the tax plan don't go into effect, that the country is going to go under. And he said that, he basically hit us with the Tupac. I was given this world, I didn't make it. Like, he basically hit us with that. And it's like, wait a minute. No, sir. We're under your tax policies. These are your taxes that's about to expire. You did this. Oh, this guy got to be trolling. He got a Muslim picture, and he said, with Kanye West on it, and it said what happened between Musk and Trump. Yeah, you got to be trolling. Like, get out of here, bro. Where you been at? Well, yeah, positive. I think now talking out loud because Elon Musk's technology. I'll start off with Elon Musk versus Trump, and I'll end it with the conversation that I wanted to have with you about the certain, what I put in the private chat. So I think that's what I do tomorrow, and then the next episode might be a movie review. That's how we do it. We got the next 3 episodes already planned out. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna let you get up out of here so you can go ahead and do your Reddit thing for your girl. Wake up.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody for pulling up, to the people watching on Twitter. Let me see if I put my barcode. Y'all got to go subscribe, man, so y'all don't miss out on these dope conversations that we have over here. So hold on. Bear with me. Put it up for a little bit before we go ahead and end it. Come on over to YouTube and subscribe. I know X might be your place. You know what I mean? I know Elon Musk might be your guy. But you got YouTube is where it's at. So there goes my barcode. Make sure you scan that barcode. Go subscribe to the channel. Check out my videos. I just dropped 3 videos just recently and shared it on my community wall for the people who haven't seen it. It's highlights from my lives. We do so much dope lives that it would be foolish of me not to clip the lives up and get people highlighted portions of it. You know what I mean? Especially because sometimes I make them private anyway. So I got to go back and clip those up. But I'm going to keep clipping them up because we do so much dope content. Like even this live, I could probably take 6 or 7 moments from this live and make them shorts. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all scan that barcode. Come on over and sub. All positive. You got any last words, man?
All I'll say is tip your bartender. Peace and love, everybody.
And every person got that angel and that devil on the shoulder. I'm the devil. You keep your own money in your pocket. Trump's passed tax on tips, so they already rolling in dough. Keep your money in your pocket. You know what I mean, and keep your side chick happy, and everything else will fall into place.
Oh, and I also like to say, I know nobody listening know her, but my close friend passed away Thursday. My female friend, I've known her for 20 years. Did studio sessions with her, and I just talked to her Monday. I walk around with a body cam now, so I have my body cam on. She was a manager at Hibbett Sports, and I went into Hibbett Sports and talked to her, and she's joking with me. She's like, I know you ain't walk in here, and you didn't send me my pictures yet. It's like, I got pictures of a studio session like 20 years ago. I told her I found them in my archives. And we was talking, she does music, she's a singer. It's one of those, it's a white girl that, it's a white girl that hung out with all black people. You know what I'm saying? She got her child's her kid is like in her 20s now, mixed kid. And I'm like, man, and I sent her a text Tuesday because my internet was out Monday. I'm like, I can't get on the internet because, so I sent her a screenshot, like, yeah, and she texted me back. And then she passed away. I found out she passed away Thursday. I'm like, my wife texted me. She's like, you heard about your girl, right? I'm like, who you talking about? I'm like, yeah, people posting on Facebook that she passed away. I'm like, man, that hurt me pretty bad. And I don't know why I put my body cam on and went into the mall and Hibbett Sports, man. She's a manager there, and I went in there and talked to her. But I probably put that big video on online. But I went there. That's the last conversation we had Monday. She died a couple days later. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
That's the craziest thing. Like I said, the older we get, that one day you're here, and the next you go, like that becomes more and more like I had a little cousin that just passed away a couple of days ago. Well, and it's so crazy because I was talking to my sister, and her stepdaddy had just got shot. He got shot by the nephew, and she was old, but she was disturbed about that. And she called me the next day, and I could tell something was wrong. I was like, "What happened?" She's like, "Blank died." I'm like, "What?" Because we got 2 cousins named that. And then when it was the other cousin, I was like, "It's sad, but kind of he out there, When it was the other, I was like, "Bro, what?" Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, but it's summertime. Summertime bring out a lot of the heart attacks. Summertime bring a lot of the anger issues, daddy issues, gun drive-by. That's just fit to go up. Listen, this is what we can leave y'all with. Some real positive. Go get life insurance.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be selling plates when people die. Like, bro, come on, man. Everybody that has ever lived has died. You know that you're gonna die. Prepare to die. Go get life insurance so that people are not stuck having GoFundMe's, raising money, selling fish plates, and like, come on, bro. Like, we too old for this. We too grown for this. Life insurance don't even cost nothing. Listen, I said this a long time ago,
Very
bro.
deep. Nothing.
I'll give to tragedies. One tragedy I'm not donating to is death, bro. Because we all know that we're gonna die. We should all prepare to die. And life insurance don't even cost a lot.
It don't. You don't have to pay it for 2 years, and then you got it. You got it.
So no, I ain't pay. I'm no longer giving to. Well, I'm no longer donating to fish fries and stuff. I know that might sound mean, but hey, it is what it is, man. Like, you got to prepare. Everybody should have life insurance. We talk about generational wealth. That's literally how it's created. Policies, life insurance policy. You pass your kids a whole bunch of money just from your death.
I have 2 on me. I mean, just in case.
Whoa, brother! Don't say the amount. Don't say the amount. We don't need no accidents.
I never gonna tell you the amount, but my mom got one on me, and my wife has one. So they're two separate beneficiaries. So there ain't gonna be no internal fighting if something happened to me.
You say the amount out loud, brother. You might choke on some broccoli. You might choke on some broccoli magically, brother.
They got their own, so it ain't gonna be no. I mean, they get along with each other anyway, but they're saying ain't gonna be no internal fighting. Like, yo, we got to split it. No, they got their own. So it is what it is. Of course, boss, even if I didn't have one, as much stuff I got here, my wife is she's sitting on dope. She don't understand it. I told her, like, what you see in here in the studio, what I have, this is money. This magazine collection right here. Each one of the sets, like whether it's the Vibe or the Source, you can get 30, 40 grand out of these things. It's like separate, like the collections and the vinyl collection and all this stuff. She don't know no better.
Hey, get life insurance. To everybody listening, make sure you got life insurance for yourself or your loved ones, especially if you think about like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Funerals are expensive. You know what I mean? You might end up raising money and having to cremate your loved ones because you was not prepared for them to die, even though you know that everybody dies. So yeah, man, we gotta get life insurance is important. Make sure you got that. If you're not gonna have, health insurance while you're alive, you at least need to have death insurance when you pass, because one's gonna lead to the other. If you don't have health insurance where you can get covered or get treated for diseases and find out you got diseases early on from screening, well then you definitely gotta have life insurance if you go.
Yep.
I think that's a good ending point.
Yeah, man.
That is a good ending point. We at the top of the 3rd hour. That was a good show. We cooked on Keyshawn. He's the next Adrian Broner. He's a guy that's been given a lot, like All Positive said, too early. He don't appreciate nothing. He's constantly pulling out of fights, constantly getting suspended, constantly doing a lot of things, missing weight, all this stuff. He's undisciplined. Call himself the businessman. He's just a janky businessman. He's gonna do what he want to do when he want to do it. And I don't know. The sky is the limit for Keyshawn as far as his talent goes. But I don't think his mindset matches his talent. I think looking at all this, Keyshawn might be a epic fail. He might be an Adrian Broner where we saying, Keyshawn would just get focused outside the ring. He gonna be 50 years old like Adrian Broner, and we still saying that. If Keyshawn just get focused outside the ring, the sky is the limit for him.
Yep, this is what's gonna happen.
And it's sad. It's sad because we can see the forest for the trees. But to the people on Twitter, make sure y'all subscribe. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna cover the fight. I'm just being honest. Probably not gonna cover the fight. I'm not excited about the event that Keyshawn and De Los Santos is not fighting anymore. So we're gonna do probably non-boxing tomorrow, depending on how I feel. You know what I mean? But more than likely, look forward to non-boxing. But yeah, good note to end on. A positive note. Get life insurance. And yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you on the next.
All right, peace.
Superstar, wish to have a fancy car, wish to have $1 million bucks. Well, I wish I don't be in love. So tell me, pretty baby. I wish it all on you.